All right. Here we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we hear, the analog telling us it's getting better all the time. It can't get much worse. That's the theme for 2025, the exit into 2026. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving, New Year's, Christmas. What is this holiday? New Year's Eve. They're all run together, and I can't wait to get through all of them and get back to work. I tell you, as I've been saying the last couple days, we've had shows. There's been so much craziness going on. Even though things have not been happening, there's still things going on behind the scenes. And so we're going to just kind of have one of the shows that we have. We've always done for the last, I think for every year that I've ever done a broadcast, I've always done a New Year's Eve show, kind of just talking and babbling and carrying on with you guys. Not really talking about anything heavy, but we've got a couple of things here at the beginning that we're going to talk about just to kind of get through and kind of set the mood right for next year when it starts, and kind of let you guys know where we're going. And then we're just going to kind of have a good time and celebrate the end of the year and the beginning of the new year. Catherine's going to come on with us, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. Of course, she came on and did the Christmas Eve show with us, so we were able to do that, and we had a good time doing that. So producer Kate's here, I'm here, and Katherine is here. She'll be on here in just a moment. So we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, as always, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you are so inclined, that would be fantastic. Let us know that you care. Let us know that you love us and that you get something from the program. Share the show with everyone you know and help spread the word. That would be fantastic. So, okay, I thought about doing this as like not 581, which is the next episode title number. But I looked back, and I guess last year we did it as a number, so I thought, screw it, we'll do it. So, okay, before we get started here, before we bring Katherine on, I do have to just bring up a couple of things that dropped today. Today, obviously, is December 31st, 2025. December 31st, 2025. It is 9:09 p.m. Eastern. And although a lot of things were really slow this last week, there were still things going on behind the scenes, as always. And we got a couple of big announcements today. One announcement was not a surprise to me, and for anybody out there that's been watching since at least July, it shouldn't have been a surprise to you, because I've been saying this since July. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, Indiana State Representative of District 34, Sue Arrington, is officially retiring. She will not be seeking re-election in 2026, which, look, it doesn't matter. It's not good or bad or whatever. Sue Arrington has been in that seat for like 12 or 16 years, something like that. And she's just been a seat holder, a placeholder. Because we have a supermajority, she never accomplishes anything. She never really puts much forward. She fights a lot for some causes of the Democratic Party. And sometimes I've even been aligned with a thing or two that she's been against. But really, she's just been worn out and tired, and it doesn't do anything whether she's there or not there. She's a non-entity. Hello there, Mimi Fisher. Hope you're having a good holiday and you and your family have been doing well. So the surprise isn't that Sue Arrington is resigning, or not resigning. She's not resigning, excuse me. She's going to see through her term. She's just not going to seek re-election. That's not the big news here. The big news is, ladies and gentlemen, that as I have said since July of this year, several months ago, Sarah Gullion will be taking her place as far as as far as the Democrats are concerned. So Muncie Democrat Sue Arrington has announced that she will not seek an eighth term presiding as the District 34 seat holder for the House of Representatives. In a release issued on Wednesday, December 31st, Arrington said it was time to pass the torch to someone else with similar Hoosier values and a passion to serve the public. Sue Arrington endorsed today Muncie City Council member Sarah Gullion to succeed her, and said she would serve as chairman of Gullion's campaign committee for the 2026 election. Over the years, I've championed issues including affordable reproductive health care, the preservation of the environment and our natural resources, equal pay, improvement of the law on sexual assault, strong public schools, universal pre-K, and affordable child care, Arrington said. I'm especially proud of my public safety bill the governor signed into law last session that provides life-saving medical information to first responders at the scene of an accident. But beyond work on legislation, I found that one of the most satisfying aspects of being a state legislator is helping constituents overcome bureaucratic barriers to service. Yeah, right, Kate, that's exactly right. She was definitely all for solar. Yeah, really crazy. Arrington said that the recent wrong-headed attempt to bully Republican supermajority to redraw Indiana's congressional district maps for political gain in mid-decade has deepened my belief that one-party rule is bad for Democrats, it's bad for Republicans, it's bad for Hoosiers. I agree with that in a lot of ways. Indiana has nearly 20 years of one-party rule, she said. We don't need another Republican in the Indiana House of Representatives. Muncie Republican Richard Ivey in recent weeks announced his candidacy for District 34 seat. Arrington won her first of 7 terms in the Indiana House in 2012. She has previously served in the Indiana Senate and on the Delaware County Council. She was public policy director for Planned Parenthood in Indiana for 17 years. Gullion, elected to her first term in her first ever election and holding her first seat on the Muncie City Council in just 2023, which means she took her oath of office and took her office over on January 1st, 2024, is in the midway point of her obligation to the citizens of District 4. I've got a big problem with this. If she campaigns all of next year, she'll still be sitting as a council person, but her head's not going to be in the game. It's just not going to be in the game. She's going to be campaigning. But more importantly, if she wins that race, she would then be giving up her seat for 1 full year. And that would be allowing the Democrats to then caucus somebody in, which, okay, whatever, I guess. Here's the deal, though. She's at that point disenfranchising the voters of District 4 who cast their votes for her or who voted for her opponent, but that she beat out by 1 vote, mind you. She only beat her opponent by 1 vote. By 1 vote. And she's like, yeah, I don't want this anymore. I want to go up. I want to be in the big boy seat. Okay. Gullion elected to her Muncie City Council seat 2023, taking over 2024, announced her candidacy for the Indiana House seat on Wednesday. In a statement, the Democrat said she intends to uphold the high standard of integrity and constituent-focused services that have defined Representative Arrington's tenure. Well, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you this. While Sarah Gullion has been on the council, she has been hard to talk to. She's been hard to deal with. And listen, I know, because I've already had people chewing my ass for my thoughts on this. People telling me, obviously, I hate women and a whole bunch of other nonsense. They probably don't find that she's hard to talk to because they're Democrats. That they talk to her. They do those things. And because she feels connected to them, she probably communicates with them well. She hasn't done that on. Yeah, that's exactly right. She's not done that job. She might have connected with her people. She might have connected with her people on the council, but she has a hard time answering questions to others, to me or to others who maybe don't align with her, and I've got a problem with that. So that's something that we need to look at, and that voters will need to look at. Gullion said that she is committed to advocating for issues that hit closest to home: housing, affordability, fair wages, accessible health care, strong public schools. The 25-year Muncie resident said she views every vote through the lens of her constituents' best interest and will continue to serve the city of Muncie faithfully throughout her campaign. Let me tell you this. This is the other issue I have with her. She is aloof. She is anxiety-ridden, and seems like her head's going to pop off anytime she has to talk, anytime someone asks her a question, anytime it gets a little kind of confrontational. She always gets really ramped up, and her teeth are chattering, and she's shaking, and she just does not seem to be a person that I would want to be on the Muncie City Council, let alone to elevate her to a higher position at the State House. Find another Democrat that might be suitable. Allow this Democrat to fulfill her obligation to the people. Listen, she could fulfill her obligation for 2 more years, and then she could run for this seat in 2028, and I would not have a problem with that. If there's any city council person that I could see as a state rep, I hate to say it, but I would say Nora, not Sarah. And that's, yeah, I mean, that is bad to say, but Nora would be better in that role than Sarah. But Nora has this track. Nora wants to be mayor. That's what she's doing. And I don't see her running next year for mayor, but I think that's the track that she's on. But yeah, Sarah is not the best choice for this. So I wanted to just put that out there and say this. I had made this comment earlier. I had posted this. And all of the Democrats came out in full force to ridicule me. And see, it's so funny to me that when I have a problem with the Ridenhour administration, the Democrats are all on my side. But how dare I use that same lens of, justice and my own political thoughts and my political knowledge to examine one of their candidates, and then, ooh, me, oh my, how dare I? You know what I mean? Let me see here. Megan Thomas says, tell me you hate women without actually saying you despise women. Listen, no, just weak women. How about that? How about just weak women? I don't give a shit if it's a woman or a man. You're not going to tell me. wave your gay pride flag and talk about justice and talk about equality, and then also preach to me that I can't have an opinion about a woman who's elected, get the hell out of here with that. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I gripe about men all the time. So when a woman comes in front of my path that I don't particularly like, I'm not going to take the gloves off and use kid gloves because it's a woman. If she's so weak-minded and you're also weak-spirited that you can't take a little bit of criticism, maybe you ought to consider that. Maybe you're not the right. Look, I know all kinds of strong women. I'll tell you right here, one of my arch nemesis, Nora Powell, that was one of the things that everybody used to say about me when I was blasting Nora, was like, oh, I can't believe you're saying this about a woman. And I'm like, listen, the one thing I know is that if Nora, you're not really friends or supporters of Nora, because if you're trying to tell me that Nora is weak, you are the furthest thing from a support of hers, because you don't know. Nora is very strong-willed, very strong-minded. I know all kinds of women that are strong, women in my life that are strong, friends, family members, people I support, people that I'm against. I know all kinds of strong women. Sarah's just not one of them. She's probably a nice woman. She's probably a kind woman. She's probably a decent human being. I'm not arguing any of those points. She just sucks as a council member, and she just she sucks as a candidate for this. So that's that. The other thing, before we move on to bringing Katherine on, I do also want to announce that on this same day, interestingly enough, the Democrats have been coming out in full force. On this same day, the Democrat Party chairman of the Delaware County Democrats, Andrew Dale, has announced that he will be seeking the Democratic nomination to run against Indiana State Senator Scott Alexander. So, chairman of Delaware County Democratic Party has announced he will be a candidate for Indiana Senate seat in 2026. Rarely does an office holder ask constituents what they believe their best future could be if they had the opportunity to help build it. Dale said in a news release, I'm running for Indiana State Senate District 26 because I believe that question should be asked and because I want us to embrace our best future together. Given the serious problems we face, he said, I'm people-focused and future-driven. Indiana State Senate District 26 is made up of Delaware County and Randolph counties. It's now represented by Republican Scott Alexander, who recently announced plans to seek re-election. The threat of increased struggles amongst farmers, people living in distressed neighborhoods, and those in small towns aren't imagined, Dale said. They are real and not to be overlooked. Those are simply trying to make ends meet. Our ability to pass along generational wealth is becoming impossible. Dale said incumbent Alexander voted to add excessive financial hardship on Indiana local and county governments by supporting Indiana Senate Enrolled Act 1. And wholeheartedly voted in favor of redistricting Indiana's congressional maps that would have silenced the voices of voters and ended fair elections. And whether I agree or disagree with his thoughts on the various things, I was against redistricting, and I will tell you it would have put financial hardship on all 92 county elected clerks in the election. So that is there. The other thing is, Dale said he is an advocate for even-handed approach to achieve responsible governance. This means courting less data center development, a fool's errand that taxpayers dependent and environmentally irresponsible in exchange for incentivizing other industries that build upon and completion existing industries. In the case of Delaware County, this could very well mean growing a portion of our economy around education industry, which is well within our reach given the established educational institutions here in Delaware County. In the case of Randolph County, it means keeping good things going by finding more ways to support the growth of manufacturing, supporting farmers, and maintaining rural health care. Dale is a specialist in construction management and has served roles in local government, including community development director with Muncie Fire and Muncie Fire Merit Commission and the Muncie Redevelopment Commission. He's been a local Democrat Party chairman since March. And the only thing I will say at this point, because I'm going to talk to both people in the situation, and I'm not a fan of Alexander, but I do not like when a party chairman runs for office. So if he wants to run, I think maybe he should step down as party chairman. That's a thing I have there. I'm kind of interested in Andrew's run. We'll have to see what goes on. I don't know where I am on that all the way, but I don't like when a party chairman runs. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the two big announcements that I wanted to get out of the way. We'll be talking about all of that more as the new year unfolds and as new people file to run for office. We'll be looking at all of that. We will be here the rest of this evening, obviously. We will not be here tomorrow. We will not be here Friday. Tomorrow isn't regular day, but we're not going to be here because of the holiday. We will then take our regular Friday and Saturday off, and we will be back Sunday, and Sunday starts the new year and the new line of shows and everything as we're going. So that's that. Without further ado, though, we're going to bring up our contributing correspondent from Madison County, Dr. Katherine Callahan, and we'll get started from here. Ta-da!
Well, somebody just sent me a message. Anybody know anything about this? Anderson man dies in single vehicle crash.
Yeah.
Passenger seriously injured. It just happened.
Yeah, it happened in Alexandria.
An investigation is underway.
It's just there's an investigation anytime somebody dies. You know that. Anytime somebody dies in a crash.
You don't sound very empathetic tonight, okay?
Not particularly empathetic.
Listen, I know you guys can't. Look, I wore sparkle tonight. Right?
What the hell?
So listen, when I came downstairs, you know what my girl said? Because I said, I need some gloss. I need some gloss for my lips. So I
Jesus.
Sparkle. You know what they said?
What?
They said, you look like a glitter bomb that blew up, Mom.
Yeah, right. I am glad it was that nice. I was afraid of where it was going to go.
Listen, they got no sympathy for me upstairs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, but I thought I'll dress up for you tonight.
Single person crash and a passenger. That's good questions, Danny.
Because we don't know if I'm going to eat the red grapes or I'm going to eat the
Nobody
green
has
grapes.
a clue what you're talking about yet. We'll have to fill them in.
Did you see my video?
I watched parts of it. Yes.
You didn't watch the whole thing?
I don't know. It got crazy around here.
You should have watched the whole thing.
So
Has
you're going to tell everybody
seen my video? You should watch my video if you're watching this show. It's pretty funny.
Are you going to tell everybody what it means?
We should show them the video.
Oh, God. How long is it?
It's not very long, but it's hilarious.
Where are you? Where's it? Where's it at again?
I pinned it to the top of my page on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me find it here.
You know what somebody said to their parents after they watched that show?
What?
They said, how could anybody be afraid of Katherine? She's so much fun.
Why would anybody be afraid? Well, what's tied to your
See, Stumblefoot, I thought for sure. I'm like, I am a dead man walking here if I choke on these grapes anymore. I mean, literally. Let me tell you what I learned from that video. You should not talk with grapes in your mouth.
Well, those are big ass grapes too.
Oh, and Alpha, he's been practicing, but he wanted to get more than 12 grapes down. So he's measuring out how much a glass of wine, how many grapes are in a glass of wine.
How many grapes are in a glass of wine? I was gonna say that would be probably the easiest way to do it. Okay, let me find this here. So we'll know what Katherine's talking about and we can learn together. Here's I was getting ready to say, here's this nonsense.
It's so funny.
Here we are. Here we are. Oh, no, wait a minute. I can't. It says I can't. Oh, I know why I can't stand by. Okay, here we go. We can do this. All right, here we go. This is why so many people die because of medical malpractice and nothing getting done.
I put a little clause in there.
Hey, happy New Year, Rebecca. Happy New Year to you.
Oh, there's Miss Crooms.
Always, thank you, thank you. Oh, and I
Right?
wanted to say this to everybody. Pam Harris says, "What's the most frustrating part of 2025? Was the most frustrating and nerve-wracking for you to report on, and some questions for Katherine, whether it be Madison County, Delaware County, or whatever. We will get to that. I will definitely cover that. So thank you for asking that. Also, thank you for talking, saying, good health. I will tell you, just before we start this, as I've said, the grandparents have been down with various different sickness, COVID, and not being able to stand up on 2 feet, and having the norovirus, and just random crazy shit that just happens back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And they've been trying to kill me. And it finally got to me, and I had a little bit of the norovirus for the last 2 days. That's the reason we didn't do a show last night. And I knew we would be planning for tonight's show.
Christopher has been doing a game of Frogger not to get COVID.
Yes, not to get COVID because I tell you what,
Or
COVID's
flu,
bad.
or the
Norovirus is bad. COVID, the flu, and norovirus together is.
This will be one of the worst flu seasons we've ever had.
And you know what? They keep telling us that every year. So it's like just one of these things
this one's pretty bad, but I just want everybody to know that if you haven't gotten your flu shot by now, well, it's your body, it's your choice. I just want you to know that it takes 2 weeks for the flu shot to actually work. So that for those people who get the flu shot and they're like, oh, it gave me the flu. No, it did not. You were already exposed here and get the flu anyway. So I just let you know, if I've had several people run in, they've got flu in their house and they're like, I need the flu shot right now. I'm like,
you got it in your house. It's too late.
Okay, exactly. So, but
I don't do the flu shot. You didn't tell people that with vaccine, did you? Were you pro-vaccine?
No, I'm pro your body.
Okay, you're right, but you weren't pro-COVID vaccine, though, right?
I said you should.
Are you vaccinated?
I did do the first 2 because I could not go into the hospitals. I couldn't see my patients.
Yeah, I think that's a fight worth fighting.
I know.
That's the reason the chicks on the right aren't a thing on 93.1, because one of them wouldn't get vaccinated, and I love that she said no. I love it. I'm proudly not proudly not vaccinated with the Fauci ouchie death shot. So, all right, here we go.
Hey, Madison County, Happy New Year and Happy New Year's Eve. So we're coming to you. We finished our day, but we wanted to bring you just some fun little tidbits for tonight as we go into the new year. So Lisa's really not sure what she's gotten herself into, but she's a willing participant. So many of you have different traditions for whatever it is to do for New Year's Eve or the new year. Some people will fill pots and pans of water, throw it out the window so that they cleanse their house. Everybody has a different type of tradition. So in Spain, they have a tradition about grapes. And so my daughters came home from school, and they've told me about this for years. A good friend of mine had them over at their house one time, and they did this grape tradition, and they were telling me that. So I'm going to give you a couple of different versions of this. So in Spain, they go to a big area where they have, I forget the name of it is, but they have a clock tower. And once the clock hits midnight,
the city center,
they will do the 12 dings for the midnight hour. You have to eat 12 grapes in that time period. It's for good luck. Now, Madison County has spent $50,000 on a new clock of our tax dollars.
Does it work?
I hope everybody will go. Yeah, it works. Stand at that. I hope everybody's out there standing in front of it eating grapes. Maybe we can all wish for better government on that part. However, so as you do, so some people say that you start the 12 grapes when when you start counting down the year, like, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and you eat them and you go under a table and you eat those. Some people say when it hits midnight and then you hear the 12 chimes, that's when you start hitting, that's when you start eating these. You have to get all 12 of them in that 12 seconds.
There's no way. That's like death.
Okay. Now, did you not get some grapes? The fanners would have like champagne glasses and they would drink this.
I was making a show.
Straight to the source. Now, some of my great patients, I will tell you, are very savvy because they want both. So what they do is they soak these grapes all day long or for a couple days in vodka, or they freeze them, and then they do that. They have the best of both worlds. So whatever fits your fancy, please do that. Could make
Now,
raisins.
The smaller the better, right?
Yeah, you could do 12 raisins. Would that
That's
count?
right. So
Wait a minute now.
vodka. Alva, are you listening?
Well, what I want to know is, are there more grapes in the green grapes than there are red?
They're both 12 grapes.
Okay, because the green grapes
I
look so
just
much
wanted
better.
to show the difference of having bigger grapes or having smaller grapes.
Because you can get them down a lot quicker. Some will cut these open so that they can chew them down. Please don't choke on these tonight. So that's my liability. I'm not responsible for you choking on these grapes tonight.
Right there.
Some say as long as you just have them all in your mouth, whatever that should be. These are kind of large ones that are a little bit harder to get down. So if you're out at the stores and they're sold out, the reason why is people are buying grapes. Now, here's what they say. If you do the red ones and you get all 12 down, you're going to get love in 26 or whatever year. If you do the green ones, you're going to have money in the new year. Now, last year,
That's what I wanted to know. What is with the toilet paper here on the front of your pants or whatever this is?
That is my hair tie.
Ah, your hair. Yeah, all right.
Don't make me knock you out.
The green ones, and she's raking in the
It
dough.
looks
right
it
now.
looks like
So
a carnation or something. I was trying to figure out what the hell's going on here.
Kind of want to let everybody
It's
know.
my flower.
It just depends on what you're looking for. Now, you know me, the thinking mind that I have, I'm like, well, what if we eat them both? Well, as my daughters like to debate, if anybody knows them, they say it cancels each other out, and so it's a wash. So you don't get that. So pick what you want. Some people don't even believe in whether it's a color or not. They just believe you got to eat 12 grapes. So we always like to throw in these fun twists and turns. And don't you worry, because Christy and Lisa are just learning about this, but I've made little baggies for them for tonight, so they can choose whatever one they want to do. And there's some for their kids and their families, and then they can decide what they want to do as far as if they want.
See, you asshole! You could have brought me a bag of grapes.
Sometimes I wonder if you do.
You could have come by and visit. I had 10 bags for people.
1 month going back and forth. I don't know, but there's a lot of thought in that. So remember, you only have 12 times to get this down. However you do it.
I'm telling you right now, I couldn't eat these in. Basically, you were saying 12 seconds. I couldn't do that.
Listen, a man can do it, but that's why a woman always has to show the man how to do it.
There's no way I could do that. There is no way I would die.
Under the kitchen table, and they do it under the table, so that's always a fun thing. But I encourage everybody who's watching me tonight, if you do participate in this, I hope you do a reel. I hope you share it on Facebook Live. I hope that we see a lot of this going on tonight, because why not? Why shouldn't we have love, and why shouldn't we have money, right?
Right.
So we will see what happens. So on that note, Lisa, would you like to do 12 right now and say the new?
Are you purposely trying to get her to do the green?
Which one would you like to do? I would do the month.
I'm not a dummy.
Okay, do the month.
Are you gonna time me?
I'm gonna do this. Now we're gonna have our own dings, but we're gonna see how fast we can get these down.
Well, yeah, these are smaller.
Well, yeah. See, that's why I gave you the green idea.
You need love, right?
I need love. Ready?
Right.
No.
At least
I'm not.
Danny. Jesus. How many are we in already? Oh,
No.
if you spit it on the floor, you still got to pick it up and eat it.
It was a good time.
Dude, she's pounding it down.
She
Holy crap.
Anyway, from us, CEO, may you have a happy New Year's Eve, a happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2026. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
That's good. Well, good. Well,
jack off. I don't want to hear that word. Now that's not very nice, but it was a very happy moment. You're right.
it seemed gay to me.
So I just want everybody to know that I got grapes.
Oh my God.
But I want you to know I did have the big ones, but I went and bought some smaller ones. So I'll have the girls bring me those down.
Yeah, closer. Good Lord. Those green grapes are like that.
These are like massive inside.
That's like 24 grapes. Those are like 2 grapes.
Listen, I couldn't believe Lisa did it, because I was like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Cow, Lisa. Yeah. I was impressed. See?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It looked like It looked like there were half as many red grapes as there were green grapes. That's exactly, those grapes are
I don't eat one.
the green grapes are good too, especially if you freeze them but not let them get like all the way frozen. Like freeze them for a couple of hours and then take them out and eat them. They're so good. Those green grapes.
Thanks,
I
Pam,
wish
for watching that. But she was watching it, and so it was so funny. I'm telling you, to watch her get those grapes in her mouth, I was like, holy cow. And here's the thing. You got all that juice that's coming while you're trying to put those grapes in there. So you're trying to like keep it all in your mouth without drooling. You almost need a bib.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then Al was like, hey, how many grapes is there in a bottle of wine? I think it's like 1,600 grapes are in a bottle of wine. I looked it up.
That's it. Yeah.
And but you know what? When I was watching this, I'm like, oh, why didn't I think about that? Why didn't I think about getting those grapes and making them raisins?
That would have been,
right.
Yeah.
So I wonder. Oh, and then I've been thinking.
A glass of wine contains roughly 120 to 160 grapes.
Okay, so just think of what a bottle does. Now I'm gonna eat my grapes. So listen, some of my friends stopped by today, and they had no idea what I was doing. I was sending them home with grapes. I'm like, don't you even eat those? They already sent me. They're like, midnight can't come fast enough because we want our snack.
We want the grapes. I love grapes. Grapes are, I don't like red grapes as much. I like the green grapes are my favorite, but yeah. And real grapes that actually have the pit inside them too. I like those.
And see, Cindy Poncha, she's got grandkids. She needs to do that with the grandkids and get them under the table and have them eating all those grapes.
Right. Yeah.
And see. So we'll just have to see if anybody's got grapes and what they're doing. Yeah, they had black grapes. Listen, I was at the store. They had black grapes, red grapes, and green grapes. And I was like, oh, what would black mean if I ate the black grapes? So I'm like, okay, I'm not getting them. So I got the red grapes and I got the green grapes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so now everybody knows what's going on with grapes, but it's a great tradition. Whatever your tradition is tonight, whatever it is that you believe in, I hope everybody that we have a great 2026. I'm excited to see all the exposure that's going to come out with all this political stuff. I think, I want to tell everybody who's watching tonight, they've been asking people to run for different seats. That's part of the cartel or the cabal or however you want to refer them to. And it got back to me, and this was the comment that was made. Well, we would run, but Katherine's team is a bit intense. I'm like, what's intense about it? Right? Just tell the truth. We'll all be okay.
Well, so that's the thing, because I mean, now, like we've literally been talking for the last year.
Oh, gummy grapes.
Yeah. We've literally been talking for the last year about tomorrow. It all comes down to tomorrow. Tomorrow will be January 1st. We at that point will be 6 days away from the start of the filing period in all of Indiana's 92 counties. There will be a filing period to run, to run for office.
I think the last day is February 6th.
Yeah, the start date is Wednesday, the 7th of January, at whatever time your building opens, 8:39, whatever time they open, on Wednesday, January 7th, and it runs through noon, February 6th. And this is something that people need to understand. They don't play around with that noon deadline. If you get there at 11:59, you can turn it in. Everything's good. If you get there at 12:00 and 58 seconds, and it clicks to 59, and then it clicks over to 12:01, you're screwed. You're out of luck. They will not let you go. I guess maybe somewhere, some small county might, but all of the places around here, they don't do that. If you are not filed by noon and you get there at like 12:15 and you're like, well, it's, there is no going back. So there's this thing.
What are you running for?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a thing where people try to delay to the last second, which is a political strategy, but don't get too late. I am going to run for office. What is this? Oh, I know. I did print off too. I am running for office in this next year. I'm going to run for delegate. It's not a big deal, but I did file it, or
Is that
excuse
for
me, I did fill it out.
Democrat or Republican?
It's Republican state delegate for the Republican convention that will happen in the end of June.
Of you
or
who
July.
are
There are also Democrat delegates because both parties have conventions.
exactly.
But
So for those of you watching from Madison County, we have 11 in 3 districts. So we take a total of 33.
Yeah.
District 3 rarely has 11 seats that people run for. And so there's usually like a ton that's open and your chair gets to stick people in there. So like Russ Willis didn't win. He was our party chair at last election. And he put himself in that position so he can go. Now it's pretty pathetic when your own party chair can't win to be a delegate when we're picking 11 from each district.
Yeah.
So just pay attention to some of that stuff.
I would love to be corner. I've thought about that. I've thought about that a lot of different times. Well, Gavin is running for re-election. I support Gavin. I would never challenge Gavin. You know, I don't want to.
He'll be termed out after this one.
Yeah, he'll be termed out after this one. I don't have an interest in picking up a political career. I've got my deal here, and I feel like I touch more people. But I that's something I always said that I would
you touch a lot more people if you become coroner.
That's true. That is absolutely true. It's even better because they're dead bodies. So you know. But yeah, that's that. I don't run against JD because I don't live in JD's district. So this is the weird part about where I'm at. I am 1 mile. I'm 1 mile west of JD's district, and I am 1 mile north of Sue Arrington's district. I'm in District 35, which is Roway. Elizabeth Roway's district. And
who's your senator?
My state senator?
Yeah.
I live in Delaware County, so it's Scott Alexander.
Okay. Listen, I don't care what goes on in Delaware County.
Yeah.
I don't care about what goes on down here in Madison County.
Delaware County. Scott Alexander is District 26, which is
so
Delaware
yours is
and
just
Randolph.
As ineffective as ours.
Oh yeah. All the ones around like a C from Madison County over to Delaware County, Randolph County, and then down through Wayne County. So you've got Gaskell, Alexander, and Rotz, all kind of right there in a little bit of an upside down C, and they're all idiots. So yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Andrew Dale now announcing that he's running against Alexander. Has anybody over there announced if they're going to run against Gaskell or not? Or
everybody's wondering where Evan McMullen is, if he's going to come out and run.
That kid.
So we'll see what's going to happen there. It'll be an interesting event over here. Now everybody knows no matter what position I run for, they're going to come at me guns blazing, and they're going to use every last tool in their tool belt to get wherever they need to go. So this is when you know you're on the right path. The more they're gunning for you, right out of the gate, during when they can contest you, means you're on the money.
Absolutely.
And so that's what you want to see. What will Katherine be running for? Well, listen, I want everybody to know, and I believe this with all my heart. I could have run for coroner in 24, and I would have won. There is no question. I did a great job when I was the chief deputy. I was well respected in that field, so I know that I would have won. However, you know me, life isn't about the easy road. Life is about, what can we do to make the biggest impact? And, You know, when we can challenge things, when we can be pushed out of our comfort zone, that's the best, right? So I decided to run for auditor because, as always, what do? You follow the money. You follow the money, they really hate you. And the great thing about that is that the Lycans, the night that they were having the winning ceremonies or whatever they do, those parties, they said that bitch cost us $60,000. I wasn't sure they were referring to me, but then they started saying my name. So I thank them for putting in such a good fight for it. But what I want people to understand is this is why it's so important to understand that elections can be bought. Because I will hear people, well, I just voted for the person who had the most signs up. I don't even know, you know. So it's kind of just an interesting thing to watch. What I will be running for, I'm really not sure. I think what I will do is just step back and see where am I needed the most. And that's how I will look at this. I will just watch and wait, and then we'll go from there and see. Mayor is not up, and I don't live in the city of Anderson. That's why I don't tend to do too much with the city of Anderson. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So there'll be lots of things going on. I will tell you this, I will be backing a lot of people. And they most likely will not be, if they're an incumbent, I'm not backing them. The only one I'll back is Bethany Keller. I'm telling you that right now. I don't know if she'll run. She's announced that she's pregnant again. So I don't know that. But in Madison County, if anyone is an incumbent, do not vote for them. Except for Bethany Keller. There's no other way I can tell you. I'm going to be very hard about that. And that's how it's going to be. Right. And so here, Cindy wants me to be the Japanese sheriff, but I'm really going to be the Irish sheriff.
Yeah. Oh,
it's all in the name.
Yeah.
So, but I want to get back to vaccines really quick as we talk about vaccines. I know that several people had comments up here. This is what I want to talk about for vaccines. So there was an article in the paper a couple days ago, and I just haven't had time to post about it. And measles is on the rise right now, right? So we have all these non-vaxxers so the measles is spreading. We have all these other things that are going on.
Measles always sounds so cute.
Right. So here's what I want everybody to know. The measles, mumps, and rubella, I am very proactive with that vaccine. I do think we have way too many vaccines than what we need. So this is what I recommend, and this is what my advice is to the public. Again, you need to talk to your healthcare provider to do what's best for you. But what I would suggest for anybody who wants to be vaccinated or anybody who's been vaccinated, if you've had the vaccine of whatever, get a titer. Check to see if you've got the antibodies that's protecting you from that. Don't just go and randomly say, here, give me more vaccines. Yes, they will tell you it's cheaper to get the vaccine than to do the blood work. I'm telling you right now, why are you putting stuff in your body if you don't even know you're immune?
Right. Yeah, it's insane.
And the other thing is that like the hepatitis B has a series of shots, right? You don't boost yourself, get an antibody test. Now, it's hard to say. You could boost yourself and then you might make the antibodies. But a lot of times, if you haven't made the antibodies in the 3 shots you've gotten, you're not going to make them. So stop.
Yeah.
Don't keep just jabbing yourself. And that's for all vaccines. So that is just my spiel on the vaccines. Do as you wish. I support whatever it is you should choose to do, but get a titer. Don't just keep jabbing yourself.
Yeah.
That's just my soapbox on vaccines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kudos to the people who didn't get the COVID vaccine. I would not recommend the COVID vaccine now. And I still have people who call and ask me, what should they do? My answer is no. However, it is your body and it is your choice.
Yeah, I like the people who've been like, I'm on the 17th booster shot of that now.
Right.
I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah. And I said, when this COVID vaccine first came out, I said, this is going to be just like the flu shot. Every season, they're going to be like, oh, we got to do a different strain, different strain. And you got to start being careful because there is talk that they're going to merge the flu vaccine in with the COVID vaccine as one.
Yeah, so, that's what tricks me about that. Screw that.
And I've seen it. I used to order with flu shots. We used to do a ton of flu shots in my office. I used to order, 4,000 or 5,000. And now I only order about 1,000. So it just tells you how many people are just not vaccinating. They're just not. And so, just something to think about. Um, Ivermectin, yes, there is some belief behind the ivermectin. The Paxlovid that we would give people, or Lagavero, for when they got COVID. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
take these pills," right?
Yeah.
So we had these pills, and we're
Not
like,
me.
"Hey, take these pills." Now, when I prescribe that, it's over $1,000 for that prescription. Over $1,000. We used to give this out for free.
Yeah, I used to get it for
Right?
free. That's
So now the drug reps
hilarious.
come over and they're like, here's this little card, and it's zero copay. Well, here's the trick with that one. The trick with that one is if you've ever filled the Paxlovid or the Lagavero at any given time, it won't work. It only works one time in a lifetime. So I'm like, okay, this is just craziness. So that's something to think about too. Most people are pretty healthy. Best thing for for COVID, believe it or not, and maybe jack off in those guys or Stumblefoot, is just go out in the sun.
Yeah.
Now it's a little chilly right now, but that sun is what will help you more than anything with that COVID vaccine. I mean, did you see somebody was trying to sneak in E. coli from China?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just craziness with that. Just make sure everybody does some good hand washing. So, that's the whole thing. But I just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on my sentiments to vaccines. It is your body. It is your choice. Do as you wish.
Do as you wish. Yeah.
I'm here to support all of you. And
75 degrees in Alva's hometown.
see, that's the great thing about Alva's hometown
Yeah.
is that. So, I used to go to Louisiana to my brother for Thanksgiving when he was stationed at Fort Polk, and boy, there's nothing but fire ants and swamp over there. So that's pretty incredible in Louisiana. People are still. Somebody said they knew who was in that car accident out there in Alexandria, and these guys are all asking me if I know who the person is, but I don't.
I generally try not to throw out people's names because you don't know if people have
Yeah,
if family have been
put it in
notified or whatnot. Yeah, I saw that.
and I'm not saying their name, but I was just gonna
generally will I'm not mad at that person. I get it. People do that. And I get it, but I just always normally don't do that because you don't know if somebody if they've notified family or not, and that would be a
believe me, it's a mad dash. When I was like, listen, we were trying to get to that house as quick as we could before somebody put it on social media or somebody, you know what I'm saying? We were always trying to beat social media when it was notifying, because the worst thing you want to do is people find out on social media that their loved one has passed, and people really need to have some support around them. That we need to have, whatever their beliefs are around them. I used to take a priest if they were Catholic and I knew, or someone who could help me in those situations.
It's always good.
It's tough.
If your department, if the local police department have good chaplains, that's always good.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, in Madison County, that is the one thing I had was chaplains who had full support. I could call any chaplain, I could call any church, and they were there in a flash to help me with this. So that was always very very positive.
This is an interesting year-end question there, Catherine.
Oh, what happened with the reward? Kind of about the reward. Yeah, we can talk about the reward a little bit here. So we're still waiting on some more records. We are trying to get some more records. But here's the bottom line. The bottom line is, when I first got the call, my answer was, okay, who do I make the check out to? Now, this was before they ever announced to anybody that Steve had been captured. They were going to make a press release, but they called me before they did the press release. And I was told to wait because they have to investigate and kind of look at everything and make sure everything's correct. So a few days later, now in the meantime, I want you to understand, I was the one who was initially called to get a hold of the sheriff in Madison County. So I received a call from Jamie Lynn. She was getting messages from Melissa, who was on a cruise ship at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So when I'm going back and forth to Jamie Lynn, she's like, well, they're in Maryland. And I said, we're at Maryland. And she's like, in Maryland. And I said, but Maryland's a state. I need a town. And she's like, yes. So she's texting back with Melissa. And then Melissa's like, well, I don't know the address. Okay, well, what town? Well, I can't remember. Let me message my aunt. Now, by this time, they had Sharon the police were already on the way. And I'm thinking to myself, if the police are already on their way, because Melissa says this in part of her thing, how could she have given the location of Sharon if she doesn't know the address or the town?
Right.
So I get a call a few days later, and I'm being told that I'm going to pay Melissa Bailey, and I just need to wire the money. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not wiring the money anywhere. And so the next thing, I go back and forth, and I said, this is Melissa Bailey. I'm not quite following on this. I'll cut a check. Well, then when I said I'll cut a check, they said, well, then you'll have to change it to Melissa Perotti. And I'm like, but you wanted me to wire Melissa Bailey. And they're like, oh, she's the same person. She got married. Oh, okay. So now I'm like really uncomfortable with this. Well, then somebody else comes to me and says, you know, that Melissa is not the person who turned her in. Well, in the meantime, what I was told by Sheriff Beeman was that the aunt initially recognized, or she's the one that knew that Sharon had come to town, but she couldn't bring herself to take the reward or turn her in because it was her close family member. And
Sure.
so she contacted the daughter, and the daughter's the one who did it. That's what I was told. Well, I'm thinking to myself, how can that be? Because this lady's saying she's on a cruise. She was like, Jamie Lynn point blank says to her, can you call me? And she's like, I can't. I'm on a cruise. Worst timing ever. So I'm like, this isn't matching up. Like, I've got the text exchanges and everything going on, but nobody seems to want to be telling me the truth. So I do. I mean, I know some of you find it hard that sometimes I can get a short fuse. And so I'm like, okay, listen, somebody needs to tell me what's going on here. I'm not doing this. Give me the social security numbers. Give me the phone numbers. Give me all this. So Kristopher kind of went over all the things that happened in there. So I'm still sitting here and I'm just totally flabbergasted. I mean, because now no matter what they tell me, even though I know what the truth is, everybody wants to say I'm Crime Stoppers. Well, great, because I went back and I looked in Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers says that they have 90 days to claim the reward. The person who initially called, it's well past the 90 days. To me, I'm kind of done messing with this. She's never reached out to me. I'm not sure why nobody reached out to me. However,
well, pause real quick. I want to introduce this really quick to the narrative. So when all of this first happened, we're really dealing with three different people. So you're dealing with the girl, Sumner.
I mean, do we even have a U.S. Marshal?
Yeah, I don't know where the hell they're at.
Nobody ever contacted me.
Right. So Steve Sumner has a girlfriend, Sharon Barker. Sharon Barker shows up to her aunt's house. So Sharon Barker's mother's sister, Sharon Barker, shows up to her aunt's house. And that aunt is uncomfortable because she doesn't want to be harboring a wanted fugitive, which is Sharon. So that aunt, Sharon's aunt, calls Sharon's sister, Karen. And it was Karen who called the police. And the Melissa is Sharon, the wanted lady's daughter. So Melissa's aunt is who called the police, but it's her great aunt who Sharon was living with. And all of these people that were talking, that were dealing with Sharon and dealing with the police, meaning the original aunt and Karen, were saying they didn't want the money when this all happened. Now, after the fact, there's statements being made that they're saying, well, yeah, we want the money now. Well, I don't really care what they say now, because now they know that Melissa wants it. So they're saying whatever to make sure that Melissa gets it. And what they say now doesn't really hold a lot of weight with me, because what they said at the beginning is what matters. They did not want the money. Since they didn't want the money, Melissa stepped up and she was like, oh, well, I'll use the money. I could use that money. And then she says she wants it. And that's not how that works. So because she wants the money, tough shit. I want the money, but I don't get to say I want the money and I get it. That doesn't work that way. So, it is what it is. And so it doesn't matter what's being said now.
Yeah. So shortly after the show aired, pretty quickly after the show aired, I received a call. Or no, not a call. I received a message on my messenger.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger.
And it says, "Hi, Katherine. I wanted to reach out briefly for clarity. And since, Melissa, you watch this show, you can listen to this." She says, "I saw some clips from the podcast from yesterday where the reward was discussed, and I didn't want there to be any confusion or assumptions on my end. The marshals offered the reward to me and explained that it was because I've been involved in helping since the beginning and stayed in touch, trying to assist in locating Steve and my mom. That said, I truly have no attachment to the money. If you're more comfortable directing it to my aunt, I completely understand and am fine with that. I appreciate you offering the reward in the first place, and I really don't want this to create stress or waves for anyone." Let me tell you something, Melissa. You were going along with this little scheme too, and it does not sit well with me. Now, I try to do something with some integrity, some honesty, and try to bring somebody home. I've been yelled at and screamed at by the sheriff that my money had nothing to do with bringing him home, yet for 2 years, they couldn't find him anywhere. And then it took 9 months with my money to be able to find him. As I was told, they would have found him anyways. You know why? Because they had a relationship with Melissa. Those marshals, they had a relationship with her. Yeah, where was that getting you?
Yeah.
I'm also being told that Melissa really needs the money. And I said, she really needs the money. This chick's on a cruise. She can't need the money that bad.
Maybe she shouldn't have took the cruise.
I mean, the fact that she has even reached out to me just blows my mind. So now what she's done by doing that, she has pretty much just said to me that Beeman lied. Beeman said she's the one that turned him in or her in. Well, if that's the case, why is Melissa saying, give it to my aunt if you're more comfortable? But she's saying that because she's not the person who turned him in. So it's quite the quandary here. And here, we know going into 26, this election, this is going to be a huge topic. We know people are going to be talking about this. Oh, Katherine offered this up and she didn't follow through. No, Katherine offered it up the minute she was called, before it even went public. Before anybody knew that he was coming into custody. I knew before the news channels knew. I'm the one who told some of the news channels. And then you mean to tell. So this is where I'm at. Now you all get to hear what goes on with it. Now, I understand that somebody has reached out to the aunt. And they have asked the aunt if she wants the reward. And somehow this aunt has talked to them. I don't know why a complete stranger would pick up the phone and start reaching out. But some people just have so much hate in their heart that they're just that way. And here's the thing. On the clip, it wasn't the marshals' money to give.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing people need to understand. It wasn't the marshals' money to me. This was a concerned citizen who came to Kristopher and Kate, and collaboratively, the three of us made a decision. It said, call the political spotlight. Didn't say call the U.S. Marshals. It said call the political. Nobody called Kristopher.
I didn't get a phone call.
And they even say they can't get a hold of anybody. It was on the poster award, reward. If they would have just Googled that, they would have seen Kristopher was on there. He put his own cell phone number on there. They could have called him.
Sure.
But they didn't.
Yep.
And so what really floors me even more is that it took Kristopher an incredible amount of time to track these records down. And
well,
it wasn't his responsibility.
That being said, though,
thing.
It was still very, very relatively easy for me to do. And I'll tell it to you this way. Back when I was a cop, having a badge in my pocket, I would have been able to have that in 24 hours.
Exactly.
And so would Beeman. And so for Beeman not to have done that very same thing.
Right. And
it's crazy.
The reward, that's exactly right.
Yes.
The reward was for Steve. It was not for Sharon.
Yeah.
Now, let me just tell you something that's even more mysterious to all of this that some of you may not know. I'm in the car on a Monday, on a Monday evening, and I'm on my way to the Costco, and I get a phone call. It comes in on the car. My daughter is sitting to the side of me, and she's in the passenger seat. And it's Sheriff Beeman, and we're having this discussion, and I'm like, listen, and they're wanting me to pay it up right away. And I'm like, no, listen, I'm not in agreement with what's going on here. I don't feel like this is the right person. I'm going to go with my nursing instinct, and I'm not doing it until somebody gives me, better information.
Yeah.
So I said, if this is, I'm going to have to go back even further, but so if she's released earlier, I will pay the bond, right? Now, remember, she's got a $20,000 cash bond at that time. If she's released earlier, I'll pay it earlier. Do you know that within 48 hours of that conversation, she was released on zero bond?
Yeah.
She had no tracking devices, and she could return to Maryland within 48 hours.
Yeah.
Of me having this conversation, I think it was more like 36. Now, if you back up even before that, I had said something like, well, are you guys going to give her a bond? Is she going to have to, what is she going to do? So they weren't going to do all this stuff. So then they said, okay, so they give her a $20,000 cash bond, but my reward was for $25,000. So all these little parts just kept moving, and I'm like, something's not right. And then when they put the cherry on top and they made Brian Williams her public defender, I'm like, y'all are kidding me, right? I mean, this is really getting off the chain. So you send our top public defender, because he's, I don't know, the chief public defender, right? Who's making six figures off of the taxpayers. He's going to come in and he's going to represent her, which I think is a huge conflict of interest in many ways. Why? Because Brian Williams is an elected Republican official in the town of Pendleton. He got caucused into that. The other character in here is Steve Sumner, who's an elected official. So I don't think Brian should have his grimy hands anywhere near this case. But in Madison County style, that's how they do it here until somebody blows the roof off of the place.
What happened? Did she crap out? Are we live? Oh, Katherine. Well, stand by. We'll try to get her back on the satellite link up here and see what happens. Oh, here she is. Where did you go, Katherine?
I'm right here. I can see you the whole time.
You paused.
I never left.
You paused right here.
I had these two shining. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did.
So
then what?
So
start all over from the beginning.
What part? Thanks,
from the very beginning.
So in my eyes is with everything that's going on, Brian Williams is involved. Beam
we don't know that he is. We just that it seems a little fishy.
No, I mean, meaning that he's her representation.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean.
That
So
is
he's
okay.
involved with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
representation. Beeman's not telling me the right person to pay. Now this Melissa thinks she knows how to spend my money. Y'all are crazy. This is Katherine Callahan. This is not Crime Stoppers. I am not here to be bought or sold. You're not going to tell me what we're going to do. But I am going to tell you this. I am going to fight to get to the truth of something. And had this turned out differently, then I would have paid it out and I would have done whatever needed to be done. But at this point, there's too many players in this arena that can't seem to tell the truth. And that's a huge problem. And yeah, I'm going to say it right here in 2025, going in 2026. Yeah, this Katherine will not be backing Sheriff Beeman.
Yeah, that's probably
Let's
good.
all be crystal clear now. And because if this is something you can do, who I thought was a friend, I can't even begin to imagine what you do to somebody who's not your friend.
Yeah, it's very strange.
But you know what? We got more fish to fry in 26. We'll have more corruption in 26. And I'm sure somehow all you viewers and Kate and Kristopher will help me spend that $25,000 on something else.
Sure. A far better, look.
Can anybody run for sheriff?
Anybody can, yeah.
So you don't have to have any special degrees or anything?
Yeah, anybody can, but I don't agree with that.
Do you have to carry a firearm?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess not, but it's stupid not to. It's stupid for regular people to not carry a firearm.
Last night, you would have been so proud of me, right?
Oh,
so
I
I worked until midnight at the office because I was like, I am not going into the new year. I'm going to have everything wrapped up. I'm going to have a clean slate. I'm going to go into the year. Well, there were these crazy noises at the office and it was spooking me out. So I got the revolver out and I put it, well, I held it in my left hand while I was working the mouse because it was like so spooky because it was about 11 o'clock. And then I put it in my pocket and then I'm like, oh God, please don't let this thing just shoot my toe off or something. And so, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to walk out to the car. So I kept it with me the whole time. Oh, Alva, I can go visit Alva in Louisiana. I've never been to New Orleans. Alva, you can meet me over in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's weird.
So,
it's real weird what Beeman did. I didn't like him, but I was actually surprised at what he did here. I was really shocked.
I was beyond shocked. And if everybody wants an update, he has not reached out to me. I have not heard a word about this. We are still collecting some more information. Katherine, I need to come investigate your office and do a live. Like, what's that mean?
I think she's looking for Ghost at your office. You were saying that you were hearing noises and it was spooky.
Oh, yeah. I think because it was so late, but so you would have been proud of me, but I was just kind of, doing the thing. But Cindy asked Beeman when he got involved because of what he told me. I don't even know that right now I could look at him, to be honest with you, without I'm just disgusted.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to put it, everyone.
It's really bad.
I'm just disgusted by the whole thing. And Linda Smith's another one. I mean, that's the whole thing. Nobody can seem to do the right thing. And I'll tell you this, you speak the truth, they just fillet you open as much as they can. So it'll be interesting to see how all this works out. I'm sure it's going to come back up again. People actually take the time to listen to that. I've had people reach out to me and they're like, oh, Beeman didn't do anything wrong. He's such a great guy. Alva actually came on one of the threads and was like, well, if he's such a great guy, why didn't he know the name of the person she was supposed to pay?
I mean, that's,
and I'm thankful for Alva, coming on there. And so it's just one of those things that we'll have to I did have a Smith & Wesson on me though. So it does sit down at my feet at the office. So it's just one of those things that that's probably more than you wanted to know about that, but I'm kind of an open book. If you have a question for me, I'm always happy to talk about that. I will tell you, I don't know if Nicole Schuyler Kapuzinski is going to run for something or not, or if she's just going to continue to blow the lid off of things. But she's uncovered a lot of great stuff recently going on in Madison County. So if Madison County keeps this path, they're all going to expose each other is what's going to happen. They're all going to start throwing each other under the bus. I hear that Sumner is very quiet in jail, which is unfortunate. I don't even know why we're keeping him over here. Why don't we put him over in another jail where he is free reign so we can get some information out of it? Niles could teach me how to shoot. Kristopher was wanting me to come up there and shoot with him at the shooting range. We could go over to Beeman's place and shoot in his indoor range.
That would be great fun. That would be a lot of good fun.
Okay, well, I try to be. If somebody asks me a question, I try to answer them and give.
Yeah, no, that was good. You have not actually, since I talked about this, I don't know that you've actually spoke on.
I have not spoke on it at all.
Issue, so that I think that's good to kind of have you kind of on record with what you're saying. I stand behind that 100%. So.
Yeah, so I haven't spoke on it. I haven't made a statement because I am hoping for one more piece of material.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get that to share with everybody. So that'll be an interesting piece. And the only reason why we're not telling you that is because we don't want any documents altered, or we don't want somebody to run in there and get it before us. So I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. Please understand that. As soon as we can get that, I'll share it with you. And the whole thing about this, Kristopher worked almost 6 to 8 weeks on getting the documents we needed. And so we just needed to make sure we had it.
It was basically from the end of October, through whenever that was the other day.
Yeah. So it was, I don't know. It was like almost 8 weeks, I think, is what it took. To get that.
Yeah.
So, it was a lot of back and forth. Let's keep calling, and you stayed on top of it, and I'm greatly appreciative. I don't know if Pam Harris is in Madison County or if she's in Delaware County. But the hardest part about running for any of us is, just having people who will help you get signs out and call and knock on doors. That's the hardest part of all of it.
Speaking of that,
Kristopher, you can put a sign in my yard.
Yeah. Let me see if I can post this up here. We have another kind of couple of weird things to look at. Let me see if I can get this here.
Yeah, Nicole's making some great headway with what she's exposing in Madison County. And if Nicole keeps going, we might have some caucuses going on in the city of Anderson. So that would be interesting as time comes. But most of these people, they will just, they don't care how bad you talk about them. They don't care how much truth you show about it. They will just go crawling all the way to the finish line because you know what? By golly, they're not going to resign. And it's kind of interesting. I'm like, if you want all your dirty laundry out there, you look worse than you've ever. What gets me is how these people get reelected. That's probably got to be the biggest thing that I just can't ever imagine. So
well, it's because what's funny is the people that are in power, they call people like us that question this stuff. They call us the low information voters. We're just getting, the drama, and it's not about anything real, yada, yada, yada. It's like, dude, if you can't communicate with your constituents, and if you can't tell the truth, and if you can't follow what your job is, and if you can't follow the Constitution, you are the problem. And it's not, we're not the low information voters. Low information voters are the people that continue to elect these same people election after election after election, even though they don't do anything to help those people out. They don't do anything to help us out. They don't do anything to help anyone but themselves out. And yet they continue to keep getting elected over and over and over because they go to church with the people. They're good guys. They're good girls. It's all about,
And
what
that's
these people can
interesting.
do. It's all
What
that bullshit.
Kerry McFadden just said his shop has been robbed, he thinks, twice in his current location. Somebody reached out to me last night. I don't know if anybody knows anything about this in Madison County. Evidently, over the holiday, the last Christmas holiday we just had, I guess the jail site where they're building the new jail, they got robbed. All these contractors are missing tools. And my
Robbed. Wait,
understanding,
back up. We got to use the right. You mean theft was committed and tools were stolen? Theft was committed. Is that what we're saying?
yes,
No, there was not somebody
whatever.
went there and physically took them from these people, right?
Right.
Okay.
And I guess this isn't the first time. This also happened a few months ago out at that site. They had stepped up patrol, and well, here we are again. So
That's costly.
I don't know if
talk about serious change orders coming in.
the county has to pay for that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Those people, well, there's insurance, so they get insurance, but those people will bill the county for it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
you can
so
bet your ass that'll happen.
Yeah. So now this is twice. Things that you won't hear about. People want me to put out some posts about that, and I will. And honestly, I try to get out as much as I can, but sometimes it's overwhelming the amount of material I need to get out. And Kristopher tells me all the time, quit putting so much out, but there's just so much out there. And I just never know who is interested in this topic or that topic. Some people tell me if I would just narrow my topics down, that maybe I would have a better following or more following or whatever. Well, I just want you to know that I get in the last 90 days, I got 2.8 million views. I think that's a great following as it is. So whatever we're putting out there, it's clearly to benefit the people. I tell you, talk about this. I got this morning at 6:00 in the morning. I haven't posted about it because I didn't really know what to do about it.
What do you mean what to do about it? We share it and talk about what an idiot this guy is. So this is Jonathan Culp. He's currently the Madison County Counselor, an at-large counselor.
He is at large.
At large. Okay. He's an at-large counselor. Merry Christmas. Jonathan, that's Jonathan Culp. Alyssa and baby Culp. She's completely pregnant here, as you can tell. They've sent out this Christmas card a week and a half after Christmas. So that's the front of the card. Okay, that looks cool. And he sent this to his parents, right? He sent this to his parents. He sent this to his college buddies. What's going on? Let's look what the back says. The back says, "This Christmas, let's return to the heart of the season, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, our Savior and King. Amid the lights, gifts, and festivities, may we never lose sight of the manger in Bethlehem, where God became man to save us. Let's make Jesus the center of our homes, our conversations, and our joy, because Christmas isn't truly Christmas without Christ. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord." Luke 2:11. Great message. Love the message. Wonderful message. Whatever.
Becky Warm got one too.
Fantastic.
You should have sent it to me, Becky. I keep your identity.
Yeah. Anybody, send this shit to any of us. So look, this is fine. Whatever, send it out. If he wants to pay for this and send this out himself, have at it. I love it. What's weird about this is, let's take a look at some of these things blown up on this. Okay, so we're gonna turn it sideways and look at the post-it. So he didn't lick these stamps himself. This says pre-sorted standard U.S. postage paid. Okay, so he's paid for this this is like a mass postage, like a letter dump, like how you would do for a campaign. That brings us to the next interesting part on here, where this is the message: Merry Christmas. Jesus is the reason for the season, from the Culps. I have no problem with that. It's the problem I had down here below it that says paid for by the Culp Election Committee. For the life of me, I cannot understand what this dude is doing.
You know, it's so
I know
odd to me.
exactly what he's doing.
It's so odd to me when I see these people who keep telling me, and listen, I believe in God, I believe in a spiritual being, I believe in a higher power, I believe in a lot of things. Very holistic approach, okay?
I believe in a thing called love.
But what I want people to understand is that I got this family and some other families like Linda Smith who want to preach the word of God. Hey, power be to you, preach. But do not come and preach at me and come at me when you are sitting up there breaking the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery, but it's going on.
Whoop,
Right?
whoop.
Thou shalt not steal, but we're stealing elections in Madison County all day long. Thou shalt not lie. Well, when you're committing adultery, you're kind of lying. So there's just so much of this going on, but then you want to send out these cards. So preach the word, but you know what? Please walk the walk and talk the talk. I would appreciate that. I'm not a perfect being. I'm going to tell everybody right here, I'm not a perfect soul, never going to be a perfect soul, but I try to do the best I can do, right? So I just kind of want everybody that I'm kind of up to here with these politicians who want to tell me, you know, what we should be doing, yet they're not doing that. So I got big problems with that. We're going to see more and more come out. This will be interesting. You know, do you think Beckwith's going to complete his term? Again, it's that army crawl. I'm going to get to that finish line no matter what I have to do, you know?
He's got 3 years left. Ow, shit. Sorry, just got a splinter. He's got 3 years left.
You electrocuted yourself or something.
Yeah.
Because you're hearing it go like this.
I got wood floor below me. He's got 3 years left. That's why I said to somebody the other day, I was like, well, one thing we can say is, oh yeah, let me show you this. While we're talking about Beckwith, you swung into Beckwith for a moment. Look at this idiot. So Beckwith posts on his I think Twitter yesterday, Twitter or Facebook. He posts this. This is comical. He posts his 25.
No, Pam, the answer 25, is no to that. And it's EICK. She's talking about David Icke. The answer is no.
Oh, yes. No.
So you are saying Culp is an adulterer?
No.
I'm not saying Jonathan is.
No, not John. Just lots of people. That's the thing that runs rampant in law enforcement, paramedics, first responders, county government, city government. It's just something that happens. I don't. It's so weird.
Listen to me, Mrs. Robinson. I'm not saying Jonathan is.
Yeah, right.
You can read between the lines on that one.
There's lots of, but and there's even more people than even them. I mean, it runs rampant in this type of thing. This is Beckwith put this forward as his as his like things that he's happy that they have accomplished in 2025.
Who did this?
This is Beckwith. Said, look, we got these things done. And Rob Kendall said, this is a joke. You mean you've been there for an entire year and this is what you choose to put forward? This is all you have to show for it? What's comical is some people said, it's just funny that these two things are here together. Establish church's Bill of Rights with Attorney General's office. And right below that, push back against ideological advocacy in classrooms. Just very, very, very strange.
Now, I would be more impressed with this if it said where it says establish church's Bill of Rights. If it said protect our children who attend church.
What I would have liked for him to do is just his job as the lieutenant governor. If he wants to be a preacher, get out and focus on that. I'm going to just be really honest with you. I don't believe, I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't believe that the job of a preacher and the job of lieutenant governor or the job of any really elected official go hand in hand. That might really sound weird, but just because of what we see from so much of them, I'm not getting that from Beckwith. What he's doing as lieutenant governor makes me think ill of him as a preacher.
Oh, I'd like to see what his congregation numbers look like since he's been.
They flock there because they worship him. It's really gross. It's really gross. Hold on here. What is Cindy Ponchett saying? He did a really good video, constitutionally sound. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Beckwith did? Beckwith did. Hold on. I'm going to leave you to talk here because I've got a growing problem, not a going problem. Stay right there. I'll be right back.
Screwed the constituents on property taxes. Amen. Spent $90,000 on a shiny new SUV. Amen. Now, what you should have said after that number 2, you should add a 2A, Kate. How much did that cost the taxpayers in gas money? Because that's a gas guzzler, right? I mean, I always drive a rice burner, okay? Because they're better on gas. 3, tried to make myself an influencer and fail right there. And your best buddy, your best man, his son got picked up for child whatever. And here's the other thing. People want to say to me, well, it's the son, it's not the dad. I don't know about you, but I don't generally sit around making sex tapes with my husband. I'm not married anymore, but when I was married, I wasn't doing that. And to the tune, not even 1, let alone 50 some that this guy's making. So what kind of house and environment was that kid really in? And I mean, even the Bible says if these people don't have a handle of their home life, they can't be out giving advice out in the public. I mean, clearly he needed to do that. And what's sad about it is Nathan didn't step down himself. He sent his dad in there to step down for him. Now, I don't know what kind of man does that. You need to face your people. Then lied, cheated, and stole. So Beckwith's got a plate full himself. So Cindy says he's got a channel he has to subscribe to. Wonder how many people subscribe to that channel. This is a big thing. And I think Peter Nell needs to literally face his people. There was a letter that Peter Nell sent out to the minors in the congregation after this story broke on his son, but nobody has the letter, and he signed it, "Your Pastor Nathan." I don't know, but I will tell you, when I was the dean of a nursing school, I did not care if my students were young. And at the time when I was dean, I was only like 28 or 29. They all had to call me Mrs. Callahan. I didn't have my doctorates at that time. And so they're like, but I'm older than you. Yes. And you need to know where that boundary is. So I don't understand why he's signing his first name. Maybe, but there's got to be boundaries.
His first name?
Children and adults sometimes.
Who's signing his first name?
Nathan Peter Nell.
Yeah.
I also forgot
even the last name is creepy. Peter Nell.
I also forgot that Beckwith investigated that sex tape scandal in his office. He did the investigation himself and found that nothing was wrong.
Well, that's like in Lapel.
Did the Attorney General pick that one up?
Yeah, in Lapel, we're missing $90,000 of parks money, but don't worry because the town council president did his own audit.
Yeah, right.
It's amazing how when you investigate yourself, you find nothing wrong. It's just incredible. He's such a man of integrity.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just incredible.
I mean, and I will tell you, I think we've made some great headway, as far as exposing a lot of things. And if we continue on this path, because I will tell you what I have noticed is these people can't get out of their own way. I mean, they'll cut their nose off to spite their face.
Now, hold on, back up real quick, because I to address Cindy's Beckwith comments for a moment.
Cindy.
So, yes, here it comes. No, so number one, I want to, well, first of all, I want to reiterate my comment. I want to explain where I'm coming from. I think that if you're a God-fearing person, man or woman, and you choose to be an elected official, I think that Bethany Keller is a God-fearing person, and I mean more than just saying like, oh yeah, I believe, I go to church once a day, or once a year.
Bethany doesn't
I've never
throw it
talked
in
to
your
her.
face.
No, I understand it. No, listen, wait, back up. You're not hearing what I'm saying. Bethany is a God-fearing person, and you can tell she's somebody who truly lives in the Word. She lives the way that she feels the gospel tells her to, and her religion tells her to, and I find that refreshing. I'm fine with that, and I think that she governs well because of that. I think that a person can be a religious person and govern well. My thing is, with all the backroom crap that these people do, there's a lot of difference between a county council or a city council person and the governor or lieutenant governor of the state and a preacher. You can be anybody can be a police officer and a preacher, a construction worker, or excuse me, a construction worker and a churchgoer, a police officer and a churchgoer, a dentist and a churchgoer, a county councilor and a churchgoer. But to be a preacher and to be one of the head preachers of like a mega church, and then to also say, I also have these visions of wanting to be high leadership within the state and be lieutenant governor and whatnot. I think that those things don't go hand in hand, and I think they have issues with each other. But the other thing, I don't want to get lost here. Beckwith is a good talker. As a preacher, for years before he was in politics, Beckwith was honing his craft of talking and communicating, and he is effective. I also fully believe he's very much, like I've always said with JD, I believe that he is a Christian conservative. And with that, I believe that there are a lot of conservative values that he holds. And so he can sit down and talk to someone about conservative values. He can sit down and talk about the Constitution. But his actions go different from his words. And so that to me is the problem. I would rather someone not talk about the Constitution, and if they're going to be the elected official, leader, the second in command of the state, govern according to the Constitution and not be out here blowharding. What he's trying to do is he's trying to say, look, I'm talking the talk, and he's not walking the walk, but people believe he is because of what he's saying. Listen, he is a constitutional person. He is a conservative, but his actions show different. And I think that's the concern, that he's saying one thing and doing another. So that's my issue. So I believe there are times where he can say things that are like, yeah, I align with that. There's a lot of things that Beckwith says that I believe with. There's a lot of things that he and I are on the same page with, far more so than like a progressive liberal. But his actions as an elected official, like so many others, are just not what I look for, and I think it's bothersome. So it's just like him saying, like, I find that the fact that he could literally seriously compare J.D. Prescott to a D-Day soldier and then want me to believe that he's a true student of history and that I should listen and take serious anything that he says. He's definitely, and I'm not coming down on you, because I know, and I've listened to his programs. Yeah, right. I've listened to him, Cindy, and you're right. He is a good talker, and he does have good words. But
and
his
like
actions
just
don't.
he's got the gift of gab.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
He definitely has that. But that's when you have to find what the truth is, and you have to get in the weeds and kind of be able to, make sure you're following that.
That old saying, actions speak louder than words.
Yes. Yes. And just watch how he is doing it. And so it's been real interesting. But yeah, walk the walk and talk the talk, buddy.
Absolutely.
And he should be addressing the Peter Nell thing. He should be saying, we're going to own this. We're going to get through this as a church. We're going to, whatever it's going to be.
He didn't. He's never done that with anything even going on in his office.
That's what I mean.
If he's not going to do that with, the AI tape and all the idiots roaming around his office, he's certainly not going to do that as
right. But he can trip in front of himself to get himself up there if he's at a Pacers game or if he's at a Colts game.
Yeah.
He can trip up there, and that's just some issues. I was just looking through here, and Nicole Schuyler, she's been posting for a long time, right? So she posted something about the county election board back in August 30th, 2024. Then she updated it on December 30th. Now, Ms. Crooms doesn't really get too much in the weeds. She doesn't really say much about anything. If you do not follow Rebecca Crooms, no matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you should be following her as we move through these elections, because she has a lot of information to share. But I want to read a testimony from Ms. Crooms of yesterday that she shared a post of Nicole's. And it says, I can personally agree the Madison County Election Board, past and present, leaves a lot of questionable actions on the table. We deserve an honest, transparent process for voters. We have had complaints from Republicans, Libertarians, Democrats come from before the board. I personally felt threatened by the election board member, Russ Willis, and had to file a police report because I would not take down a video taken at a public election board meeting. Local officials count on the public being ignorant on how elections are supposed to be conducted. Elections have consequences only if people really are mad and feel there is something wrong. It's time to get mad. And Kristopher says that on almost every one of his shows. Are we mad enough yet to get these changes? It's the same thing. And I think we are. I think 26, we're going to see a lot of big changes.
Yeah.
I think you should run against Mayor Ridenour.
I don't live in the city limits of Muncie.
So you're like me. Okay.
I'm
once you go buy a
mile
house
outside.
There.
Yeah, right. I'm half a mile outside of the city limits.
Where's Grandma? Is Grandma and Grandpa in the city limits?
Nope.
I mean, what time is it?
It's only 10:48.
Only 10:48. Or are you trying to freak us out or something?
No, I don't know what she. I don't know what she's saying.
We want to check in at Times Square. What's going on at Times Square?
Not a damn thing.
Shit
that we can't listen because it's they're playing music and we can't play it.
Oh, okay.
That's what sucks.
Okay. So, I mean, we need a commissioner down here in District 1 because Olivia Pratt's not coming back. People say that
we need someone to run against Todd Culp because Todd Culp's, or not Todd, but Jonathan Culp's going to be running in her spot.
That's what I think so too. Some said maybe it'd be Rob Steele. I don't know. Both Rob Steele and Jonathan Culp both need to go. People, you need your head examined if those two get back into seat anywhere. Those two people just need to be out of politics. Rob can't keep himself out of his cup, and don't even try to go get his cup because you'd be in trouble if you get his cup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the thing.
I tell you, sometimes when I speak, I get shaky, and I would hate accidentally to get shaky and knock his cup over one time, because I guarantee you that would be an interesting,
wouldn't it?
That would be an interesting ordeal. Yeah,
it certainly would be. So it's one of those things. I hope more people will come out to meetings in 26. I'm hopeful of that. I know a lot of people can't because people have to work now. I mean, I hear so many people in my practice coming in and they're telling me how they're moving out of Madison County. They can't afford the utilities. They can't afford the property taxes. And that's the one thing I noticed when we were redistricting, we were actually getting smaller and getting rid of it instead of growing. And so when you look at at how Madison County is surrounded. Like we've got Hancock
Yeah.
County. That's a booming county that's exploding. We got Hamilton County, another booming county. That's how it's going to be. How about Sproles? Is he going to run?
That's really interesting. He's still not said anything. Let's go look and see. He's not said anything. John Sproles. Let's take a look. Not to my knowledge. No. Last post was on December 3rd. Dude, I don't know. Something is way. I think that his separation or some shit is really, really wearing him down because he's way off of his game.
Well, maybe he's trying to fix his marriage right now instead of worrying about running the county and life happens. Boy, they say. Here's the good thing, people that are watching who are wondering if I'm running. The good thing for me is I don't have to worry about a relationship. I don't have to worry about all that drama. My 2 girls, they don't want anything to do with it. They're not. There's going to be no nepotism. They don't need a job. My 2 girls are. They speak 3 languages. They're very highly educated. They've got their own life to live. I will tell you that if you talk to my daughters, they sound like Democrats. I mean, they are,
It's because they're young. They'll grow out of it. My brother used to be like that, and now he's hardcore.
I will tell you that both my girls do vote, and it's kind of interesting because they will call me, and they will not listen to me. And they go through and read people's profiles. They go look at their social media. They do all this investigation, and they literally research the candidate than just vote for them blindly. If they can't find a lot on them, or they don't like how their social media presents, or how they've been interacting with people, they clearly will leave the box blank.
Dude, look at this. I don't mean to interrupt you. Look at this. This is on Sproles' page. What is this?
Now, I'm not saying that these guys are doing this. I'm just saying that there's maybe are they getting testosterone from somewhere?
What is the deal with wear a damn shirt that makes you look like a normal person and not a freak?
Yeah,
go work out and be wonderful and do all that. But what is this?
This is high blood pressure. We've got to monitor their blood
tiny
work.
Testicles.
Yeah, if they walked into my office, I'd be like, okay, sit in this chair right here. We get some blood work.
They have to walk in sideways. This is nuts. God. I feel sorry for the little dude here on the end,
Well, he's holding Sproles' hand. It's okay.
Yeah, he is. What the hell is going on with this nonsense? This is the guy that comes to your car for rolling through a stop and beats your brains out with the butt of his gun because he's on roid rage or some shit, or chases you into another 3 counties over and kills 4 people in it because they are roid rage.
Are they all cops?
Yeah, they're on the Henry County Sheriff's Department.
I see. And I do want to give a good listen. We are boiler up in this house, hammer down all the way. But I will say good luck to the IU at the Rose Bowl. I hope they can bring home a win. That kid's been doing a great job. So I wish them well. And for IU, I hope they can bring home a win for Indiana.
He did spend all that money on that gym. Something just tells me that just does not look natural. Honestly.
What gym? Did he build a gym?
Yeah, everywhere he goes, he built a gym. He's kind of like Johnny Appleseed of gyms. Everywhere he goes, he lays the foundation of a gym.
And I think working out's a great thing for everybody. I think that's fantastic. But please do not be selling steroids in the gym.
Swole Sproles. That's what I start calling.
Do not shoot up together.
You're right. I'm going to mention something.
And I believe in testosterone replacement as long as it's monitored
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
by a professional.
I want to throw back to something you said when you first came on about supporting people. With mirrors, yes, Stumblefoot. I don't think that I am going to support anybody in this next election.
Not one person?
I think I'm going to take a different approach.
Do tell.
I think I don't give a shit who it is. They're all going to be disappointing. They are all disappointing. Everybody's disappointing, and it's
now
just
you're
gonna
talking
be,
just for Delaware County.
I'm talking about pretty much everywhere. It just depends on where. Yes, Johnny Bravo, absolutely. That's good. It just depends. I mean, it depends. Like, there could be a person that runs if someone, like, let's say, for example, someone decides to run for something that I think they should run for, and they, whatever, yeah, they'll get supported. But I mean, like, for the majority of the people, like, if it's between, like, let's just say like this. Let's just say that, for example, if McMullen ran against
Gaskell?
I don't give a shit who wins there. Gaskell's an idiot that shouldn't be elected, and Evan is an idiot that shouldn't be elected.
Right.
And so that is a situation, like my dad used to say, where it's like rooting for the roof to cave in. I don't care who wins.
We should get Miss Crooms to run for senator, right, in the Democrat seat, and then I'll run for the Republican, and then whichever one of us we're in a safeguard, right?
I've always said this, and I cannot get people to understand this. It would make sense if there was a clear-headed, common sense conservative Republican out there that was wanting to do right by the people, and there was a clear-headed, normal, common sense Democrat out there that was wanting to do right by the people. They could come together and say, look, I'm going to file to run on the Democrat ticket. You file to run on the Republican ticket. And
let's run as a team.
Yeah. It's during the primary. I'm not running, because it's not me, but you're running against the incumbent. I'm going to help push everybody your way secretly.
Right.
We're going to, and if you beat that person, then may the best candidate win come the general. Right? But if you lose, then I will be here, and then you help me secretly in the general, and that's, we've got 2 shots to take this douchebag out.
Right.
But nobody ever does that kind of thing.
People ask what I'm running for, and it doesn't matter what I run for, because the elections, and I'm not saying this as a conspiracy theorist, the elections are rigged in Madison County. Mm-hmm. So I can run. I mean, but I would have to have such a mass volume of people show up at the polls on the day of election.
Too big to rig.
That they couldn't keep up with the volume in order to rig it. That's the whole big thing is you got to kind of beat them at their own game and see if
steroids illegal? I think if they're prescribed by a doctor.
Anabolic, yes, but like there's testosterone replacement, and it's completely legal. And I have it's male menopause, so I have a ton of men who are on testosterone replacement in my office, and they do a great job with it.
Yeah.
Now there was I don't know if anybody saw an article in the paper, and I was going to make a post of it, but it was yesterday's paper, but it got so busy. Do you know anything about? I'm going to send it in. I'm going to send it in Messenger. This is kind of I'd like to hear people's topics about this or how they feel about this. This county. There's one county in Indiana called Vernon, and it's still governed by the 1851 charter.
What is it? Where did you send it to me?
I just sent it in Messenger.
Sorry, I was looking at Kate's. Kate got her legislative survey from Prescott. Okay, what is this? Let's see.
This is an interesting article. And this charter allows elections to proceed without partisan primaries, also different from the rest of the state. So
is this similar to what happened?
This is the only county that's left, and they were going to leave them alone if Gaskell got his thing pushed through, that he was going to make municipalities go at the same time as like the presidential elections.
Yeah.
It's an interesting article, and I was going to post about that.
Vernon still governed by 1851 charter. When the General Assembly incorporated Southeast Indiana's town of Vernon in 1851, it granted the community sweeping authority to govern itself. Over the next century and a half, other towns in the state of Indiana eventually gave that authority back. Vernon never did. In a state where every other municipality now operates under uniform state statute, Vernon remains Indiana's lone charter town, governed by an incorporation act approved on January 22nd, 1851, when Indiana was barely 35 years into its statehood. The document serves as a local constitution, spelling out everything from elections and offices to fines, taxes, and the powers of town leaders. Home to fewer than 300 residents, according to the most recent 2020 census, Vernon is Indiana's smallest county seat by population. The Jennings County town sits just south of the larger city of North Vernon on a narrow peninsula formed by the bend in the Muscatatuck River. It's one of only a handful of towns in the state to elect a mayor, and the only town that elects both mayor and town marshal. Oh, that's weird. The unusual governance of one of those Hoosier State's smallest communities resurfaced this year at the State House as lawmakers considered a bill that would have shifted town elections to presidential election years. The proposal ultimately died, but even if it had advanced, Vernon would have remained untouched, thanks to a special carve-out to specifically exempt the town. Long before Indiana standardized municipal government, a process that gradually unfolded in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and in the days predating synchronized elections on calendars and machine-printed ballots, towns were governed by charters, individual acts of law passed by the General Assembly. It was a common approach in the 1800s, according to historians and state historical records. Towns, churches, and even businesses were often created with legislative approval, each with its own rules. Vernon's charter, for example, began by formally incorporating the town by name, defining its boundaries, and declaring its residents a body corporate and politic, vested with all the powers and privileges pertaining to bodies, corporate, and politic, with the perpetual succession. But that system began to unravel later in the 19th century. Indiana's 1851 Constitution, approved just months after Vernon's charter took effect, curtailed the General Assembly's ability to pass special laws for individual communities, pushing the state toward uniform municipal status instead. Over time, towns required their charters, relinquished their charters, and transitioned to governance under the state law. Under Vernon's charter, elections are governed not by Indiana's consolidating election calendar, but rather by the town's own rules. The charter calls for the election of a mayor, council members, and other officers to 2-year terms held beginning biannually thereafter. The language predates today's partisan primaries or uniform state elections days now held in May and November. Documents also specify who can vote, requires advance public notice of elections, and even outlines the hours polls remain open. Per the charter, voting historically took place during a short window that closed at 4 p.m. earlier than modern polling closing at 6. Although election practices have evolved, Vernon has preserved many of its older traditions. Votes cast on paper and counted by hand, ballots are deposited in a wooden box, and when polls officially open, the handheld bell is rung to signal the start of the election. The charter also allows the elections to proceed without partisan primaries, also different from the rest of the state. The mayor presides over the council meetings and casts the tie-breaking vote. The council is tasked with passing ordinances governing public safety, nuisances, streets, markets, taxation, and as long as those laws are in line with the United States and Indiana constitutions, they remain that way. There is no single explanation as to why Vernon never formally surrendered its charter, but the town's website boasts that its elections continue to be held unlike any other in the state. According to the town's historical record, Vernon debated abandoning its charter multiple times over the decades, especially state law became more standardized and administrative responsibilities grew more complex. Each time, however, local leaders and residents chose to retain the charter, viewing the charter as both practical government document and a symbol of the town's identity. Election administrators and historians have described Vernon's system as a living artifact of a sort of showcasing how local governments once operated across Indiana. During the 2025 legislative session, Senate Bill 355, authored by Senate Mike Gaskell, sought to shift town elections to presidential election years. The bill passed the Senate, but it stalled later and died in the House. Even so, lawmakers were careful not to disturb local operations in Vernon. The bill explicitly exempted the town, allowing Vernon to keep holding elections under its own rules. That's very interesting to me. And I like that.
So I was going to write an article about it, but it was pretty hard on
Wouldn't take that long to count.
But
yeah,
I almost I sent that to you and said, hey, maybe we should write something up about this because it's kind of fascinating that that's never evolved and it's always been that way over there. Should we go back to paper ballots and counting them like this? I don't know. Because the machines clearly are not working. There's a problem with these machines.
I would definitely like to be back to the old days of... See, that's weird. You've never voted. You've always voted. That's weird. You're like a kid.
I am.
You've never voted by the old push style or lever polling. That's strange.
No, never.
You've always voted by machine?
Always voted by machine.
Weirdness. That's weird, Catherine.
I mean, and that's why I said, I when my post, I put Vernon is not simply quaint or historic. It is Indiana's only remaining charter town operating under an 1851 Incorporation Act that predates the Indiana Constitution itself. While every other municipality in the state eventually relinquished the sweeping autonomy and submitted to uniform state statutes, Vernon never did. That is not a harmless tradition. It is an exception to modern democratic norms. So I guess the question is, was it better to keep them in the way they are, or was it better that we relinquished power?
I think that's neat. Like, that would be cool to live in.
You know what, Stumblefoot? Let me tell you something.
Yeah, no, dude, seriously, you've literally been eating since we've been on. Like, does that do something to you? You know, like, I'll tell you this story. I think I've told it on here before. When I used to be a car salesman at Gaddis, after the law enforcement days, when I used to sell cars, right when they put fresh time in here on McGalliard, a buddy of mine, Jordan, who was a car salesman, brought in a bag of apples, and he brought in the peanut butter, where you can go to Fresh Time and they have this machine that has the peanuts in it, and you turn it on and it crushes and makes fresh peanut butter right there. And he brought it and I ate it, and it was the absolute best peanut butter I'd ever eaten in my life. And so when I left work, what?
I was trying to empty my bags for my girls to fill them.
When I left work, I went and got some of the peanut butter and a bag of apples myself. And that night I sat and I'd eaten so many apples because it was amazing. And I go to bed and I don't think anything about it. And like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and my stomach is hurting so bad. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I am dying. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh God, I got to get to the bathroom. And I'm like, what is happening to me? What is going on? And then it clicked. You dumbass, you sat and ate like half a bag of apples.
Hey, the good news for me is I'll know what's going on with me, and I'll know how to fix me if that happens. But I don't anticipate.
Wait a minute. No, aren't grapes a diuretic?
Yeah, they're all juice.
So it may just make you pee a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good time.
So, but stating the fact that I ate yesterday at lunch, a small meal, didn't have anything all through the night, worked until midnight, didn't have any dinner last night, got
I
up
just think
this
they think
morning,
you're going to turn into a grape.
grabbed a hot chocolate, we got back to the office on 4 hours of sleep, was at the office all the way till
I see again.
5:30. Listen, I'm making up for all my fasting I've been doing.
Yes. So I think Pam asked if I ever worked a missing persons case. I think we worked a couple. I think I've done more with missing persons since I've been off law enforcement. I've done more with missing persons on the show. One night I went around and live. We were looking for a girl. Remember that, Kate? That was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That was wild. And then we had that kid that was missing up in Eaton a couple years back. That was a big deal that we followed. So I've tangentially worked missing persons in law enforcement either as a patrol officer or an investigator. But no, I did patrol.
We Sumner.
Yeah, missing person Sumner. We definitely did that. See, that's been more outside law enforcement. I went from patrol to investigations to sex crimes to narcotics, and then to the prosecutor's office as an investigator. That was my chink. That was that. But yeah, I worked a missing persons case here or there, but that wasn't really my bag. So
we should talk more about that Vernon. That Vernon case is kind of an interesting little...
Yeah, that is an interesting deal. I've been down through there. I didn't know that about that. That's a really weird deal.
Oh, you just arrested the smoke pot.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You've had too much grapes.
These are yummy grapes.
Yeah, right. You had exactly too many grapes.
Stumblefoot and Jackoff have got me all just flabbergasted.
Yeah, right. What was his name? Oh. Yeah, so I'm looking up Vernon here on the Vernon, Indiana. Yeah, I know. I've been down through there. I didn't know that they had that kind of weirdness going on. That's very interesting.
Well,
Town of Vernon, Indiana.
My big thing is Gaskell, right? Like, he just wears me out.
Yeah,
I don't know how you people keep electing him.
Yeah.
I mean, he just...
Gaskell's... I have a lot of old videos and pictures of Gaskell. Whoever decides to run against him, I got shit. I got shit for them.
Yeah, but do people ever put it out? Because Evan surely didn't put it out.
Well, yeah, because I didn't give it to him. I didn't like him. I didn't give my shit to Evan.
You know, I just want everybody, I'm going to show you, I have on Facebook, they've got the sheriff's car and they're announcing the accident, and they're announcing the people who had passed in that one vehicle accident. They've got it like this because you know why? They can't put a coroner's car up there because the coroner's cars are like atrocious. Although Adam was supposed to
they wouldn't put a coroner's car up there. Why would they put that up there?
Why wouldn't they? He died.
That's kind of weird. They would, yeah. I guess I get, yeah.
I mean, that's just how I look at it.
Did everybody hear about Gabe Whitley? Did you hear what happened to Gabe Whitley?
He can't be on any social media.
Yeah, dude.
How does that?
Tell me how that's gonna work.
Right?
Let me see here if I can pull this up.
Hey, did you know that Governor Mike Braun, he said in 2025, jobs and wages are highlighted. Jobs and wages are up. Our economy is growing faster than any of our neighboring states, and Main Street businesses and major employers are thriving. We have a lot to be proud of, and we're just getting started. But then Troy Chester got on there and says, but yet the minimum wage remains $7.25 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's
Valid
ridiculous.
point.
Absolutely ridiculous what's going on. What they feel like is going on. I just want to know where they're getting all the information that they're getting, because I just tend to have an issue with a lot of what they're thinking.
You know,
Yep.
you have to understand perception is reality,
That's
right?
exactly right. Absolutely. You don't even get to say that joke. That's weird. Listen to
Former
this.
Indiana congressional candidate Gabriel Whitley has pleaded guilty to intimidation. Online court records show a judge sentenced Whitley to a year of probation. As part of the agreement, he is not allowed to use online platforms. It stems from social media posts that Whitley posted in July of 2024, threatening Abdul Hakim Shabazz, who is a political commentator and a former candidate for mayor of Indianapolis.
He listen to me. he entered this plea yesterday.
He's a political commentator.
Who? Abdul Hakim Shabazz. Yeah. Whitley entered this plea yesterday and got out of prison yesterday. And I guarantee you this dude had a fake account by yesterday afternoon.
Yeah,
There's
and you know what it's called?
What?
It's that Meg. What's her name? Meg.
Nicole?
No. Who's the one that went to jail who was being his girlfriend?
Oh, Stoner?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I did find this on social media, which popped up. It happened to have popped up yesterday, which is this Grape Whipley reporting. And here's this. I don't know if this is him or if someone's making fun of him here. This is pretty amazing, but there's not anything really going on here. But I've seen this a couple different places. So
who's his
I don't
mutual
know.
friend?
What?
How many friends has he got?
We've got one mutual friend, Randall McAllister, who's running for some kind of running for the seat
So
that
you
Stu
didn't look
Erickson's
at his
giving up.
friends list to see if Meg Stoner's in there?
Let's see here. You know, he's liked all of the normal people. He's liked Governor Mike Braun, Attorney General Todd Rokita, Tony Katz, 93.1, Rainwater, Kendall and Casey, Indy Reporter, Beckwith, all these people.
Yeah, look at that. Speaking of grapes, Gabe's looking for love.
Yeah, yes. He is.
That's his cat call.
Yes. Which grape did you pick? The purple grape? I am a man with a plan and the scoop. Ain't nobody gonna keep me down. Grape Whipley reporting. So
Well, there you go. He can just whip himself right into shape.
This what I don't understand is, like, he got out of prison yesterday, and now apparently it means he needs to be right back.
Does it tell you when this page started?
Does that tell you that somewhere?
Sometimes they tell you how long they've been on there.
Where does it tell you?
I don't.
Well, his first post was yesterday at 7:31.
Yeah, so you know it's him. So is he in violation?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I think it's hilarious. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Everybody was showing that because you remember right before he moved, he was like commenting to me and talking about like my dead dad and things. Very weird comments, very weird thoughts.
What do you think of Todd Young?
I don't like Todd Young.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't.
I'm not a big fan of Todd. Todd is It's got to be an AI account if it's connected to Randall.
Did you know that you guys had a murder in Muncie? This guy was kicking in a door. Did you know that? And he got shot?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Well, in Madison County, Mama said, "Come home and don't leave your room." And a child was trying to climb back into the house at 5 in the morning, and the mom shot her thinking she was an intruder.
Yeah, I heard about this. I've not said anything about this. What's the whole scuttlebutt over in Anderson about it?
It looks like mom's going to get off. So it looks like she didn't know that the girl had snuck out. She was sneaking back in. Mom thought it was a intruder. She shot her and killed her. They arrested the mom about 5 a.m. They detained her. Mom just is saying she just thought she was an intruder.
Are
Sweet looking
people
girl.
are people mad at the mom? Are they happy for the mom? What are they getting at?
I think people are just like, if this is true, this is a horrible situation. Nobody's really saying much about even on social media. The most people are saying is like, when Mama says come home, she means come home.
Yeah, right.
When Mama says don't sneak
out.
But I don't know the mom. I don't know the daughter.
Where are all the people being like, well, she should, if you know what? Are they all white?
Go to the Harold Bolton Facebook page, because
are these all white people?
Who?
The mom and the daughter, man.
No, they're
not white
minority.
people. What does that mean? They're a minority. What minority are they?
They're African American.
Are they really? And people aren't bitching about this? Because I figured that's what I was going to say. Like, this seems very similar to me, to the guy down in where was it? Whitestown, where he shot the.
I know. I'm
sending
you a picture. Listen, this is Madison County. Okay, I just sent you a picture of the child who was murdered, I guess is what.
No, she wasn't murdered. It would have been a homicide, but it wouldn't have been murder. Murder is the illegal taking. If it wasn't I don't think the mom. Are we saying the mom did not murder her? It would be a homicide, but it wouldn't necessarily be murder. Murder would be illegal. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, she looks young. Oh God, that sucks.
I was surprised that you didn't cover this.
Why? What? It's not political.
I know, but it has to do with like the lady who was at the wrong house.
Well, that's my initial thought to it. Is like, where's the people that's going crazy about this? Because let me tell you what I've seen. So that's the reason I asked you.
It's been very quiet about it, actually.
Yeah, that's very strange. Social media, like, normally people don't care. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Normal people just go crazy and say a whole bunch of crazy shit no matter what. But it seems like people are actually having some compassion here, which I'm happy about, I guess. This is an awful. So I will give this caveat. And this is the reason I was asking. I'm not being weird. This is the reason I was asking. Number one, first of all, my thoughts. I mean, this is just beyond tragic. I mean, if it's taken as it's been given on face value, that this was a situation where a kid was being a kid and was breaking curfew and snuck out of their house. I mean, how many times have we done that? Have we all done that? You know what I mean? Everybody's done that. A time or two or whatever. I could not imagine sneaking back through my window and being, blammed away by my mom or my dad. That'd be nuts. Nor could I imagine doing that to a kid. That would be horrible, So my thoughts, my prayers, my sympathy goes out to the mom, the family. This is a bad way all the way around. And if this was a horrible, tragic accident, then this is being handled the way that it should be. She's not being hassled. She's not being arrested and charged. They're letting them just deal with the fallout, which is, in my opinion, what they should be doing in Whitestown. where it was just another tragic situation. But I was asking about the color because it seems like, the fact that how everything was happening, there was no talk. I just assumed they were white because I would have thought that with the people of color, there's a big group of white people that would be coming and being like, look, you shot this black girl, Madison County Prosecutor Rodney Cummings said he does not believe the killing was malicious or intentional, though he is weighing whether to file charges in the case as the investigation continues. I don't understand how he could be weighing charges if he said that it's not malicious or intentional. I agree with what is it, Domino?
Rio.
Yeah, I agree with him. If Cummings has already made the statement that the killing was not malicious and it was not intentional, I think those statements have been made out of order. He should have been like, we've been weighing the charges, but I don't believe that this is malicious or intentional. That would have made sense. But to say it the way that it's been reported there seems weird. My whole thing is...
The question is, some think that the mom's white, but nobody knows for sure.
Yeah, but see, does that matter? Why does that, to me, that does not matter.
I'm just sharing with you that
no, I know, but
a lot of press
that's the point.
Coverage to yours. I'm just saying we should have some coverage on ours.
Not necessarily, because that situation was an actual home invasion where
I'm just talking about how the prosecutors are handling this thing.
The prosecutors handling it perfectly. Rodney's doing a great job here. You think he should be charging the mother?
I think he should be looking more into it.
What? I mean, are
we don't
you
have any
aware
toxicology reports? Did the mom get tested? I mean,
sure, all that's happened. They knew that night whether she was high or not, or drunk. They would have known. So he's got that information. I mean, are you aware of reports that he's not looking at?
No, I'm watching.
I think Rodney's office is doing a good job here. Look, this is the same thing that I say to people about, like you, all the time. It's okay if people don't like you. That don't mean that you're wrong all the time. People cannot like you and still say, hey, she did a good job at that time. As well as we can not like Rodney and say that he screws up 99% of the time, but he's still going to get some things right. And I just think in this situation, if this plays out the way that it's being sold right now, which is a terrible tragedy, then they're doing the right thing. I wouldn't want the mother charged in this situation, even if there was some like weird, like, oh, hey, we could charge her with this.
If Rodney made us a safer place, we wouldn't be so worried about somebody coming in the window like that.
I will say it's not Rodney's responsibility. Rodney's responsibility is more after the fact. It's more the police.
And if there were more consequences in Madison County,
in my opinion, there's no consequences to a situation like this.
She wasn't.
What do you mean coming in the window like this? What are you talking about?
You're missing my point.
The daughter's coming in the window like this. This is something that's happened since the beginning of time. Kids sneaking into houses. Prosecutors not going to stop that.
I have summoned my children to replenish my grapes.
The prosecutor's office is not going to stop children from breaking back into their house. That's been happening since the beginning of time.
And I wouldn't shoot my daughters for breaking back.
Well, sure, right. Again, they're now playing devil's advocate on the side of the people who are like, don't shoot the cleaning lady. I mean, did the mom say, hey, what are you doing? Bad guy coming through my house. I got a gun. I'm getting ready to shoot you. Wouldn't the daughter be like, no, mom, don't shoot me. It's me. Like that's some weird stuff. But I think this is a terrible tragedy. And honestly, if nothing else comes of this, we won't hear any more information. And that's the thing people don't like, right? When they don't have, well, if it's being sold if it is as it's being sold, there won't be follow-up. It'll just be. And that'll be interesting. So, yeah.
I will say on a good note that Madison County's doing a bang up job with those anchor parks, and they already have violations coming in, and they
What's
haven't.
anchor parks?
We were doing the trailway over there on A
Oh,
Street, but
yes.
now they're going to put in these anchor parks. And so they've already gotten like 3 violations from like IDEM, and they're not meeting this and they're not meeting that. And so they were supposed to, make sure that the public was aware, but they quietly put it through. But then I guess over at the courthouse, they want to know how Katherine gets all this information and gets it out with people. But they were no match for us in Madison County, because within 48 hours, we had the petition signed and submitted. And so we had until January 1, as told to us in the paper, that we could do it till January 1. And then somebody called and found out that the DNR was closed on December 31st as well. So then that really ratcheted our time down. And we got that petition together in record time. I think I was able to get it up Sunday night. It kind of got movement come Monday. Things went kind of a little crazy at the county building because they all want to know how Katherine got her hands on all of these documents. And then we put up a person put up that they were going to start the petition, because I kind of said this what that we put that up Monday night, and we needed 25 signatures, and from 9 to about 2:30 or 3 we worked really hard on it. We had 88 signatures, and we were able to submit it. So that is when a community just comes together and a great plan is executed. And even when Jessica Baston said in the paper article, public hearings are rarely done. Well, you're going to have one now, Jessica.
I love it. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Listen, Stumblefoot, you can donate to any cause you want. You can donate to my cause. I don't know what that cause is, but he's got 28 minutes to give his last tax write-off.
Hey, I would also just quickly what is this shit?
Do you know that StreamYard's no longer going to be StreamYard, and it's going to be Bending Spoons?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, will it be a silver spoon and a gold spoon?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Right there. Replenish grapes.
Where's those people on what? How did we want to see them on camera?
They won't come.
Tell them to come over here. It's New Year.
Come here and say hi. Come here and say hi. Come over here. Come over here.
They're not doing it.
They can only see your top. I only got the...
Yeah.
This is...
Hi.
Hello. Happy New Year.
She just woke up.
Oh, yeah. Well,
we were watching the House of Gucci, and I'm like, who is that snoring? And
Jesus.
Out. Where you been all day?
Wonder where I get it from.
Right there. Do you have any words of wisdom you'd like to share with anybody? Are you eating your grapes?
Are you eating 24 grapes?
Well, listen, this is my new plan. My new plan is I'm going to start eating.
She's eaten about 48 grapes.
How
of
many
each
grapes are too many grapes?
Well, that's what Kristopher wants to know. If I wake up in the middle of the night, Kristopher wants you to text him to say, Mom's in the bathroom throwing up or something.
Okay. I think you'll be peeing.
Okay, so here's the deal. On the countdown, when they start doing 12, 11, 10, I'm going to start eating one bag. And then after the 12 ding-dongs, I'm going to eat the other 12. So I'm not really canceling them out, because I'm eating
that's
one
only
in
if you're
one
doing it
year,
at the same time.
and I'm eating one in another year.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
So then which one is like effective?
They're both effective because I'm ending in
Well, technically, the only thing you would be eating during the 12 seconds would be what would be effective. The other bag would just be grapes at that point.
Yeah, that's what
No, I don't like your guys' theory. And
what grapes have you been eating up to this point? Because you've eaten a whole. What are grapes called when they're together? A bushel,
a wine,
a bunch, a bundle, a bunch, a bunch of grapes.
Yeah.
You've eaten a bunch of grapes. I mean, like figuratively and literally, a bunch of grapes.
Which one do you think I should eat?
By far, the green grapes are the best. I don't like the red grapes.
So you just want me to only go for money and I can buy love?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You don't want me to have love and then
Love
just
ain't gonna help
marry
you
for
bring money, but you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, like you can always find more money, but you can't always find love.
Nah.
I
See,
think-
you can tell she's young.
They say love and death are the only two things that you can't control in your life.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. See,
Well,
you need to bring her
taxes.
on here more. Well, yeah, right. That's in there with money. But I think that
Are you and
I
your
would go
sister
the
gonna
money
go
route.
get under the table?
Mhm.
See, they're gonna go
Are they
under
really
the
going to
table.
get? See, you're not even. Nothing's going to happen to you because you're not under a table.
Go
You're
clean it
just
up so I
eating.
can come up
You're
there
just
and I'll go under
eating
the
a
table with
bunch
you.
of grapes.
Go over there and I'll
You guys needed to go the wine way, and that would have been easy. You could have done like a shot of wine, and that would have been your 12 grapes.
Right, but we don't drink.
Oh well,
Right
neither do
there.
I.
college students that don't drink because
Hey,
their
I hear
mama
ya.
raised them
I
right.
hear you. Yeah, I'm a teetotaler, so I get it. I get it, 100%.
That's why they're not allowed to date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see, raisins. So if you watch my little video, I said some people just soak them in vodka all night and then they just eat them that way. Hey, what would happen if we ate raisins instead? We wouldn't choke. Did you see my video on this?
I did. Why'd you eat them during the day?
I'm telling you, she's been eating grapes like just double fisting them since about 11 o'clock this morning.
This is the most fruit she's ever eaten.
Yeah, right. I always thought that Korean people didn't like fruit, but
Here we are.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should ask a Korean. I can't help you there.
He loves Koreans. They're
Yeah.
his favorites. I'm telling you, you got to get these guys on here to do
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
to do their thought process of government. How do you think government is right now?
I have no comment on this.
That's great.
Hey, Alva, right there, who you're reading, he's down in Louisiana. He said we can come visit him in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's 75 degrees right tomorrow, so it's better than here.
Tumblefoot's got
damn sure.
cojones. He wants you to know he's got cojones. We're not sure where they're at, but he's got some.
Playing quarters and eating grapes. Hey, everybody, you don't miss. You miss don't sound fun. Yeah, right. I want to remind everybody not to shoot guns straight up into the air here in just a few minutes because those bullets do come back down. Yeah, ask her. Is she still there?
Oh no! Listen, I can tell you the answer to that. If she will tell her sister was summoning her upstairs. They don't want me in politics at all. Like they are so fearful of me being in politics. And so they said somebody needs to do it, Mom. It just doesn't need to be you. And then so that's they just don't want me to do anything. So they love it when Kristopher calls me and we have these discussions.
I guarantee you they love it.
So although my mom, that's who you guys should talk to, is my mom.
Oh yeah, that would be a
My
blast.
mom's 90 and she can tell you everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. So the other day, P. Diddy came up on TV and he's like trying to get out of jail. And my mom's yelling at the TV. I mean, she is like, he is guilty. I don't even know why you're even thinking about him. Why are we even entertaining this?
Who was it?
P. Diddy.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And so, but yeah, so my girls, they worry about my safety. They worry about, all the pushback that I get. And honestly, what they said to me the other day is they go, Mom, we don't really ever feel sorry for you because
you bring this on yourself.
You bring on this stuff yourself.
Yeah.
But this Christmas, as we're watching you on all this stuff, you really do get shit on. for telling the truth. I mean, that's really what they said. So, and what I hope, and I think in the future that these two will go out as they get a little more established. I bet you they run for things wherever they land. They certainly will not be staying around here, but I think you'll see them on school boards as they have children. I think they understand where the root of the problem begins and that they've got to be the root of the solution.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, if they're
this has
smart,
been a
they
good
wouldn't stay
learning.
here.
Yeah, this has been a good learning experience. For me, my dad listen, he did 3 tours in Vietnam, 1 tour in the Korean War. He was a retired
That's where you
master
came
sergeant.
from.
And I will tell you, he died when I was 9, so we didn't really understand the political aspect of all of this. Even though my brother is a retired full board colonel, he never came back home after he commissioned and left Indiana. So we never talk about politics because his boss was the president. Didn't matter what president it was. That's who his boss was. And we don't have those discussions about his boss, whether he agreed or disagreed. And so I didn't get into this until we had that coroner race in 2020. And Russ Willis made me so upset. That's how I got involved.
See, that's generally what happens. Somebody gets pissed off about something.
Yeah.
That's how they get up. So yeah, I thought I was going to kill it like an hour ago. I was like, there's no way I can make it to midnight, but we are now just a few 20 minutes, 19 minutes. So we might as well keep here until midnight, till the ball falls.
Listen,
so
I just want Karen and Pam and Alva and Stumblefoot and Jack Off and Karen Fadden and all you people who have stayed with us. I know there's other people. Insane. Dave Skeen's watching. Miss Cruz is watching. I appreciate you guys hanging with us through all this.
Well, I want to show you while we're waiting for these last few minutes. Yeah, it certainly was. So this is one of my bigger political battles I've ever been in my life. So this is a church. This was the first United Methodist Church in Winchester. This was the church that was directly across the street from my house. We bought this house because of the church. We attended the church. And then one day we came out from the church and there was a for sale sign in the parking lot, or in the yard rather, and we were like, "Oh, let's go over there." We've been driving around. We had probably spent this back when gas was cheap. We probably spent like $600 driving around Winchester and Randolph County looking for homes. And then we come out of church one day and just right there is this house, and we were like, "Ooh, that's a pretty house. We ought to go take a look at that." And my wife at the time, we walked in the door and she went left and I went right. And by the time it was an open concept house, kind of like we walked just through these rooms. By the time we walked in at like the 6 o'clock on a clock. And by the time we met at 12 o'clock on the opposite side of the house, we had both been like, yes, this is our house. This is what we want. And so we bought the house. We ended up buying it. But, we bought that house and we lived there for a number of years and had a wonderful time. Everything was great. Everything was wonderful. And then Sean Byram became mayor of Winchester in 2015. And I'm going to show you this right here. So this was our street south. This was South Meridian Street. Here's the beautiful church. Okay, absolutely just amazing, man. What a tragedy. This was my house right here. We were one of only 4 lots in Winchester that had a double lot. Loved it. Put up a privacy fence, had a pool in the back eventually. Not when this was taken. Here's my wife's van at the time. This is always a weird picture. Look at this. Look, there's a bird up here. See this bird that got captured right here? That's weird. How many times I've seen that bird. And I'm going to drive up the street here a little bit and show you back here. He's also somewhere. I don't know where he is. Oh, I think he's finally landed right here. There he is. So anyway, this was the church, First United Methodist Church, and it was built in 1880, 1881, either 1881 or 1891, one of those. And then in 1960, they built this little add-on over here. And Sean Byram, I ran for city council in Winchester in 2015 and as a Republican, and I lost in the primary. And Sean Byram ran as a Democrat, and we helped each other out. We were very supportive of each other, and we were like very supportive through his first year in office. And then in September of 2016, I heard a rumor that they were going to tear this sanctuary down, the church, and put a drug rehab in here, not to help the men and women affected in Winchester and Randolph County, but to help people from all over Indiana and beyond. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And the long story short, why this was happening was Sean Byram was wanting to run in his next, he was going to do his term as mayor, and then he was going to run, give up a year and run as state representative. And he wanted to be state representative. Well, state representative of District 33. And at the time, there's no way a Democrat would win that. And so basically this church that I attended, all of like the big, beautiful Republican Party people in the county went there. And so they wanted out of this church because it needed a lot of repairs and they needed to put a new roof on it. And they were like, we don't want to do this. They wanted to get out of this area and move out to 32, out to where they could have more area to build. And so they came together, those Republicans came together with Sean, and they found out a way for the city to buy this and buy them out of their area so they could move. And if he would do that, they would help give him their blessing and he would be able to be state representative. And we were like, no, that can't happen. We don't want this to happen. And so I lived again in this house right here. There's my my tire air compressor. And then right over here around the corner, just from this church, in this house right here is the elected prosecutor. And there's a bunch of people strategically placed all around here. And we fought this and fought 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 this. And tried to do everything that we could to fight this church being torn down and everything. And Sean admitted that he had done things wrong. In a third-class city, a mayor cannot engage in land deals. The council has to do that. Sean had applied for the loan without the council's vote. The prosecutor stood up in a meeting and said, I have to stop coming to these meetings because I might have to investigate you because I think that you've committed fraud. Whole bunch of crazy shit happened. This fight went on for years. This is what I ended up getting arrested over in the meeting. All of this happened. And so what happened was we lost the battle because they tore this church down.
But did you win the war?
We did. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, we won the war. And so what happened is over the other day, this was just yesterday, somebody had shared this on a Winchester post, shared this picture of this church and commented anonymously and said, hi, all. I'm looking to move to the area in 2026. Can anyone tell me the name and denomination of this church on South Meridian Street? And a lot of people had comments about this. Okay. And some people were saying stuff. And so what I did is I posted this picture, this beautiful picture here, and posted and said, before Sean Byram. Okay. And then I posted this picture and said, after Sean Byram. Okay. It was a beautiful structure. It was a beautiful structure. It was a beautiful structure. It
I
is
don't
no
like
longer.
the situation in Madison County. They said that it was a beautiful courthouse there,
Mm-hmm.
and then they tore it down.
Very much like Delaware counties. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They put a drug rehab in here. My stepkids had to see people running around the yard high on drugs. Ambulances was being sent over here all hours of the night. Needles were being found out in the yard. Just a crazy fucking turn of events. Just bizarre what happened. Just complete bull crap. Okay. Well, so what's weird about this is, so I wrote all this out. I said, let me find out where all of this is here. All comments. So I wrote, besides those pictures, I wrote something else in here. Such a horrible loss. Ignorant elected officials trying to bump themselves up the ladder is what I wrote. And so under the pictures, Amy Bailey said, one of the worst mayors Winchester ever had and the biggest baby of a mayor. And Carla Faust said, Sean had nothing to do with the decision to take it down. Get your facts straight. Glad you moved away from the community.
These people just kill me who come back and fight for ignorance.
Yeah, listen, it's great. Well, wait till you find out who Carla Faust is. Amy said, he still sucked as a mayor. Christian Brown said, came here to say the same thing. Carla, no one cares what you think. You people need to get over it. He hasn't been mayor now for 6 years. Geez, move on. You do for responding. Other elected officials feels the same way. I was agreeing with you. I love Sean as our mayor. Oh, sorry. Just tired of Bilbrey and his crap. He terrorized my son and the community for too long. Now he's over in Muncie doing the same thing. And so Carla is Sean's mommy. And someone said, how did he terrorize your son? And I said, terrorize your son? Jesus, you people are weak-minded. So I
remember when he went to Washington, D.C.
Who did?
The mayor did.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah.
Went to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And when he got back,
yeah,
I was working for the newspaper at the time. When he got back, I went in and I asked him about his trip.
Yeah.
I mean, the mayor went to Washington, D.C. I think that's newsworthy, don't you?
Sure. Yeah.
And I got screamed at.
Yeah. What? I remember that. What happened?
He screamed at me about Bilbrey wants. I said, you're the mayor of our city and you went to D.C. I'm asking because I would like to know. I think the citizens would like to know. Maybe Mr. Bilbrey wants to know, but that's not why I'm here. Incidentally, I did look up the history of your church for you.
Yeah.
So the first church was built.
Wait. What did he say? What did he scream at you?
He was screaming at me about why I was there, and if Bilbrey wants to know this, he can come in here and talk to me himself, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I work for the newspaper, dude. I'm not here.
We like
Bilbrey.
barely knew each other at that point.
I know. We talked a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, you two bonded over church?
Yeah, right. And we're getting arrested, actually, but go ahead.
That's a bond.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I did look up the history of the church. So there was a church built there in 1851. It was on land that was donated by George Monks.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
And in 1889, they dedicated a second church building. So they built a bigger one.
Okay.
And that one was nicknamed the Stone Methodist Church because General Stone donated the money to build that because his mother had been a Methodist.
Yep.
And in 1899, so like 10 years later, the building burned down from a spark from a train passing by. And in 1900, that building was dedicated.
That's right.
And a organ was installed in a Mahler, M-O-L-L-E-R, Mahler organ was installed in the third building in 1901. And in 1962, they added the educational wing.
I think the Mahler means it's in the wall kind of thing, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I got married in a Methodist church.
That's just a maker, MP Muller.
Yeah, and it goes up against the wall. It's the big pipe ones.
The big fancy thing. Yeah.
Great.
So thank you to the Randolph County Historical Society because their website has a lot of information about some of the historical buildings here in Winchester and throughout Randolph County. So that's, my plug, and that's where I got the information from.
Oh, and then did you see in Yorktown, that they're
you,
getting
Kate.
hit because they weren't supposed to put that whatever by the well, and now it's contaminated and it's caused all these cancers?
Yeah. I did see that big thing. That's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a
So, and
big
see,
deal.
everybody thought I
actually
was
have 2
crazy
years
for
of degree done
fighting.
to be a pastor, so we'll just, there
What'd you say?
Everybody thought I was
He's over
crazy
here.
about that. Okay, Q.
Wait, back up. What did you say, Kate?
Stumble put this up.
Kate Church, guess you.
I have 2 years of a degree done to be a pastor, so you never know it.
Well, yeah.
That was a very long time ago.
Hey, do you have grapes?
Who?
No.
Nobody has grapes.
What
You-
on earth? Does anybody watching the show have grapes?
No, you've
We're just
had
gonna watch
enough.
me eat the grapes.
Yeah, you're gonna
We're gonna
do
watch
it for
you,
all of us.
No, they're going to watch you eat the grapes, and I'm going to go throw a kid out of the house.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to watch that. That's what I want to
our
see.
New Year.
Where's Nigel at?
Asleep, I would
Niles
say.
is asleep.
Oh,
Niles has to
Niles
work
is
tomorrow. The
asleep.
gun shop's open.
Tomorrow?
Oh yes.
Which kid are you throwing out?
Whichever one I find first.
Okay.
All right, it's 11:56.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, the kid gets
We're getting
thrown
there.
out of the house at midnight, along with all the luck from the previous year. And then they have to knock, and I let them back in, and they come in and yell Happy New Year and bring in the new year and new luck.
Listen, people have some
Weird
traditions
British
about
traditions.
this.
You know what my tradition is? I just sit here and I'm like, oh, it's another minute.
Listen, Stumblefoot, I am trying to have some discipline right now. I want to know if anybody is going to be partaking with me on my little journey here. What am I great?
Yeah, we're gonna be watching it all happen.
Oh, congratulations. You just volunteered yourself, son. You're getting thrown out. 3 minutes.
Which one is it?
That was Liam.
All right.
Yes, it's an actual thing. You're getting thrown out.
I think that's
Find
the son
some
you threw
food.
out last year too.
He's like, I hate
Spread that
you.
around.
What?
He's got to spread that around.
Spread what around?
Oh, listen. We got to talk about the weight loss shot and diets. That's what we should talk about tonight.
You've already done that.
Our New Year's resolution.
Everybody's like, I can't even
I'm
hear
gonna be
that
on a
shit
great
anymore.
diet.
We've seen it. We've seen that. It's all right, here we're coming up to the time now. Let's see. 50.
I'm gonna start eating these. How am I gonna know the chimes? How am I gonna know when my 12?
I'll tell you. You're not gonna know. I'll tell you when to start. And then I'll tell you when you're done.
I'm gonna start at the 12 mark going in.
So that's at
I need
11:50.
12 chimes.
That's 11. No, you don't need the chime. You just need to know when. I'm gonna go, and then you just eat, and I'll tell you when to stop. And then that's when you'll know.
Okay. Stumblefoot better have some. Listen, I even have them in little baggies like this upstairs for everybody.
Jesus. That's insane.
Well,
All
so
right.
which one should I do?
I would do the green ones.
Listen, I'll do the green one starting when we start the countdown at 12.
Okay, we've got all right, we're getting ready.
I'll go out this year and then I'll go into the next
60 seconds.
What? Is it really? I don't know if I can get them all down.
You start at midnight or you start when?
I'm going to start when we go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8.
All right, it's getting ready. Oh, no, I'll tell you when. 54, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 43, 42, 1, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 5, 4, 23, 22, 21, 20. I don't know what's happening here. Uh-oh.
What is it?
We'll hear it. Go. Four, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, people. Happy New Year, everybody. You know, they say what you're doing at New Year's, what you're going to be doing the rest of the year. So that sucks for all of you. What I should have done is just killed the feed right there. Made everybody think that it all went down. It's like 20 seconds later than what's happening in real world.
I just want everybody to know that I ate all.
God, that's not all. You've had at least 60 grapes tonight.
I'm trying to drink a bottle of wine for Alva.
Yeah, you've had about 120 to 160 grapes. Well, thank you all.
Listen, if I send you these videos real quick, will you put them up?
Yeah, send them to me.
They're pictures. Hold on a second. I'll send them to you. To wish everybody a happy New Year. These are pretty funny.
Tell me if you got them to me.
Oh, here they go. Okay, let me see here. I should have just had them send it to you. So this is a happy New Year for everybody when you put these up.
Oh God, this is my first 0101 26. I cannot even believe it.
And it went 25 flew. It was gone.
You know, I don't even like thinking about that.
From my family to yours, here is my two daughters, and they rarely will make a public appearance. So it must have been a good night.
Yeah, they were on. Where's your pictures? Oh, right here. Oh, yes, this is official. Yep. Oh, look. Yeah, this is good. Yeah. What did the dog eat?
House to yours.
Yes. Happy New Year. That dog. That dog.
So Teddy wants you to know Happy New Year.
Yeah. Oh, that's his name, Ted. Yeah, he's a good-looking dog.
Yeah.
So good-looking kids. Well, good. Thank you. Very good. That was wonderful.
For letting me be with you guys all night. Thanks, Kate, wherever she's at. And
yeah,
thanks
she's
to
off.
you.
I think she's off.
And I love all you people who stayed with us for these hours.
Yes.
I hope we have this kind of turnout and this dedication through the election for change in 26.
Yeah, you know it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I appreciate it as always. Kate, for all of us, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I wish you and your family the very, very best in the new year. Health and happiness and everything in between. We will see you back here Sunday. And we'll begin it all again.
It's go time.
You know it. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. Good night. And God bless. Goodbye.
Love you all.